It's working.
Don't jinx it.
Well, we'll see. Welcome back, everyone. Acer will be joining us at a dramatically appropriate time. However, we'll have to go on without him for now.
You said the thing.
I had to say the thing, as usual. Why don't you go ahead and go around the table and introduce yourselves?
Hello and greetings once again. My name is Bradley Huey. I'm better known in this series as Grayson Holland and Tremere. Tonight I have questions, and I look to get answers.
Hey everyone, I'm the reason we're starting so late. I play Acer Soren. Hopefully I can make up for any lost time that I may or may yet still take.
Hi everybody, I'm Morgan Caldwell, and I play Crescent, La Sombra.
And as always, I'm your illustrious yet benevolent storyteller, Peter Needham. And I'm more than excited to tell a vampire story. Acer, being the thin-blooded that you are and being a daywalker, you always arise, as usual, early. It is the start of a new day. And just to do a bit of homework here, just because I forgot to ask, is there any experience anybody wishes to pay for abilities? I may take care of this off camera, but I forgot to ask.
I'm pretty sure that I can't get anything that I want with the experience I have, so I'm good.
I don't know if I can pay for this just yet, but considering Miss Crescent's generous offering, there's the matter of my new celerity.
If you wish to spend the experience point reserve, go ahead. You have the means to feed, but it will not be available to you until you feed in the proper resonance.
I will do so then.
All right, you may go ahead and burn your experience. What about you, Miss Crescent?
I believe we took care of my experience points off camera already. So I have what I have, and I'm going to keep that a little secret.
You got it. Just want to be sure. I always ask, I forgot to do it this time. Today, sir, as you are within the treatment center, you awaken. Finally, your lab is clean. What do you do? And as always, a health check.
Okay, yep, rouse check, yep. No, come back. I fail. That is not a good thing right now.
That was an eventful rouse check for a fail.
And I'm to understand that brings you to 4 hunger, correct?
3, apparently? Yeah, 3, because Medical gave me a blood bag.
That is correct. Thank you for that. All right. As you will the life back into you, the morning sun becoming twilight, signifying your ability to rise early, and you awaken. That metal cage inside you warp and bend as you hear, oh, that's much better. I intend to go out with a full sprint this time.
Don't count on it. I plan to keep that locked up tight.
Oh, you both know that you can't keep this cage locked forever, Acer. When I get out, I will feed. Every time you mess with yourself, you only make me stronger.
Ah, well. 1 step back, 2 steps forward. He gets up, starts disrobing to go in the shower, but then, right before he takes off his pants, he looks around.
I can say, looking around, you can definitely say you see nothing. It's just an empty, quiet room with the gentle sound of your technology as well as your laboratory humming within the air of electricity.
Hope you're not one of those perverted ghosts. And then he's just going to do his morning routine. Going to wait for everyone else to get up. So after getting ready, he's going to go over to Medical and just continually help her with mundane things.
Okay. Luckily, today seems not nearly as bad as it was yesterday. The individuals that are suffering from the rampant amounts of anemia is a little bit lighter today, which she appreciates. And your assistant yesterday did help a decent amount. She hardly acknowledges, though, neck deep in making sure that things are restocked, though it does seem that your continued efforts and devotion to keep her supplied and help her where you can has been beneficial. But with that, we'll go ahead and move on over to Sir Grayson. Go ahead and give me your first rouse check of the day as well.
Fair enough. I will get hungrier for today. Very fitting.
As you come to your own life, that dictator within you, you can hear that stone scratch under sharpened nails and neck crack Another day, you're going to let someone walk all over us. First, the prince is barking down our neck, and then you go schmooze up to the mayor, and now Danica's missing. How much longer before you let me get up and handle what you can't deal with?
Not yet. There's a time and there's a place.
You're irritating me.
But I am feeding you, aren't I?
Regrettably.
Well, then let me go feed a little bit more for you then. We have much to do today.
Shake off the initial chill of that hunger, and you begin to get ready. As you get ready for your day, as always, spending time to pick a nice set of clothes, adorn yourself in a very presentable manner, what goes through your mind after all the things you've had to deal with the past few nights?
I keep as rational thought as I can. I go through the list. Again, there's Danica, there's the prince's orders, there's this rampant, disobedient pack in my center. For now, I think about the ghost momentarily. Minor annoyances, little things here and there, just part of an equation to solve, a variable to put down and throw the paper away.
As you get ready, what's going to be your first tension for today?
I'm going to go ahead and see if that support group that I encountered the other day is going again. Should be.
You make yourself known, going through out of your office into the thoroughfare. This evening, as usual, people are starting to go about their daily treatment, whether it be professionally, emotionally, or supportively.
Mm-hmm.
But that support group that you remembered on the second floor is still going. Same time, every day. You see some familiar faces, as well as some interval rotations.
I'd like to take a peek in as I'm going to, as always, very quietly enter into the room. Small wave and a nod to anybody who notices me and close the door behind me. Just fly on the wall, as they say.
As you peek your head and wave, Cindy, the younger therapist that was managing this group yesterday, does give you a smile and a wave as she continues on her bit, as she looks around her. This group is a little smaller than last time, but it's still useful. Some need more attention than others. And she goes, well, okay, everyone, that wraps the day. I understand today was a bit of a hard session. You know, some personal things were shared, but remember, there's no judgment here. Everybody needs to find their treatment the best way they can. So, we're going to take our weekend off. Make sure to stay active. Physical exercise for you, Damon. We talked about this by Mr. Holland's instructions. We have kind of organized some classes for you to help that out, so that should be helpful. If anybody needs some one-on-one, my door is always open. You can ask Mr. Holland or any of our staff to shoot me a message or come by me personally. I'd be more than happy. Is there any questions? You see a young woman, kind of dark hair, short bob cut, light makeup, normal, very fluffy winter wear, but more pajama-esque. You don't really establish a dress code here, whatever makes people feel comfortable within reason. She's very pale complexion. She leans and goes, yeah, I actually, if it's okay, I may want a little extra help. I'd like to maybe talk about some things to get off my chest. If you don't mind, I don't feel comfortable sharing in a dynamic. Like, oh, of course, Miranda. Just, again, anytime tomorrow. Does that sound good? Yeah, maybe after lunch. Always fine. Anyway, Mr. Holland, did you want to share anything with the rest of the group?
Coming and seeing how everybody's doing. I see these sessions are doing some well. Anybody having any difficulties, anything like that? I'm always here, and of course my door is open as well. I'll keep it open as much as I can.
You do see the girl named Miranda do raise her hand. He's like, could you maybe enlighten us why there seems to be individual with like a leather jacket like walking around the halls at night? I see him sometimes pass my window a lot, and he kind of gives me the creeps. Who are they? Why are they here? You hear some murmurings of like confusion and confirmation, all looking to you now at these strangers to them.
Very observant of you. Well done. Appreciate that. Keeping our eyes open, not just to ourselves, but to the outside world. They are a very mild stress test that I'm doing here at the facility. Not much for the patient, more of the staff, more of a grace under pressure. I hope it hasn't caused any of you too much discomfort. They won't be here much longer.
Damon does raise his like, Yeah, Mr. Holland, it doesn't really cause problems, but yeah, that's the same individual that Miranda was talking about. He did come into my room last night after I had my dinner. He knocked. He didn't barge his way to the. I let him in, but yeah, he just really seemed to want to talk.
They take general surveys. It's very strange. I guess nowadays it's to look as much as not like an inspector. Like I said, they will not be here for very much longer.
Go ahead and roll a manipulation plus subterfuge.
Okay.
Don't forget, you are in luxury, so you may add bonus dice.
Yes. 4 successes.
4 successes. As you seem to have this very relaxed manner, laid back shoulders, and a big smile on your face, the group kind of nod and chuckle to each other. Meredith even posed Damon the shoulder going, see, I told you he wasn't being nosy. Mr. Holland's right. Cindy goes, yeah, okay. Yes, I know it's a bit weird. We are a very large growing facility. Mr. Holland has definitely spent a lot of time and effort with our benefactors to expand upon things. Mr. Holland says temporary, everything should be all fine. Right, guys? Yeah. And there's like murmurs of confirmation within the group as people begin to slowly get up, stack chairs, start cleaning up, putting things inside the room. Are you snagging anybody in particular?
I'll go over and introduce myself to, I believe it was Miranda.
Yes, Miranda. She is definitely one of your herd mates. So by your general knowledge of her, when you've seen her file, she has had a harsh problem with heroin addiction. She was a workaholic, single mom. Currently, her parents are taking care of her 5-year-old and 2-year-old. She was admitted by her family. It took her a decent amount of time to come to terms with what's happened to her, as she was very difficult originally. It was a hard intervention. Roughly about 2 or 3 weeks ago, she has started to blend into the community and are showing her first crackings of a breakthrough.
Make my way up to her. Just want to keep sure that I am in front view of her so I don't sneak up on her. Seem as non-threatening as I can.
You come around the corner as she kind of stacks on the last chair, stumbles with it a little bit as it's a little bit bigger than her as these chairs.
Let me help you out there.
Oh, thank you. As you kind of step and help her rack it onto the metal holder, she goes, sorry about Mr. Holland. These chairs are really big. I mean, they're nice to sit in, but not very light.
The difficulties of exchanging, cheap versus comfortable, and I definitely want things to be comfortable here.
I mean, fair. These sessions do get long, and I guess it does help to talk when you're not sitting on cold metal.
True.
Anyway, can I help you with something, Mr. Holland?
No, just coming to check on my group, seeing how everybody's doing. What do you think of the facilities, if you need any extra one-on-ones or anything like that?
Well, you probably heard I'm going to go talk to Cindy probably tomorrow during her downtime.
Mm-hmm.
Just working through some, I guess, guilt, so to speak. I know I wasn't necessarily the easiest person to deal with when I first got here. Sorry about the lunch lady.
I wouldn't worry too much. It's very, very stout. But once everybody leaves, I'd be more than willing to maybe hear you out. If there's something you wanted to at least talk about right now, maybe get something off of your chest.
Go ahead and make a charisma plus persuasion.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
3 successes. She looks very uncomfortable as she kind of takes a small step back, not much, but she does kind of put a shoulder against the nearby wall a little bit as she sees some of the last individuals leaving the room, the door closing behind all of you. As you're sitting, goes, you're going to lock up, Mr. Holland?
Oh, yep, I got that. No problem.
All right, take it easy. As Cindy closes the door. After that door closes and you're all left into silence with the gentle, almost spa-like-esque music that seems to prevail most of your treatment facility. Miranda does take a small sigh and kind of nod her head a little bit.
I see her kind of struggling. I take off my glasses and get against the wall and just slide down into a kind of a sit against it. Okay.
Looks down at you for a moment for slowly kind of sitting down on the carpeted floor with you, putting her legs up to her chest. That's a little informal, I guess. I'm running through some problems with the fact that I'm here at all. Cindy and some of the other therapists have been really drilling in hard on apparently my anger management. I guess it doesn't help that I was kind of swingy when I first got here. I was really mad that I was put here. I didn't think I needed it. Until I realized that I wasn't angry at the people that put me in here. I wasn't angry that I got taken away from my kids. I was really angry at myself for letting myself get to this point.
Say, I know this is like to keep things a little informal, and of course, anything you tell me and you don't want me to repeat it, I will not. I think you have a right to be a little bit angry about some things. Sometimes anger is good. It's a force. It's a driving force.
Yeah, but I didn't choose to come here. Other people had to put me here, and I get why, but it doesn't change the fact that a part of me doesn't care. I just hate feeling like this, and I don't know where it comes from. It just feels like no matter what side I'm on, I'm just fucked.
I mean, believe it or not, Miranda, I sometimes feel the same way. I mean, I'm angry too.
What do you get angry about?
I get angry about, this inspection. It's annoying. I mean, these guys walking around the way they do, and I know it's the testing and whatever, but I'm trying to keep people sane, and they're just like, great, you've done your thing. Just get the... I hold myself back. Get out, It's just...
She does kind of chuckle a little bit. Yeah, government types, I guess, always like to get in your business.
Right? Red tape everywhere.
Well, if it makes you feel better, and this is going to sound kind of pedantic, but I mean, for me, it was either this or prison. And I say this is a lot better than prison.
Slightly better.
By what I've heard, much better. Rudy tells war stories sometimes. And I think this is better than prison. And losing my kids. But that's just a different point altogether. Leaning into this conversation, you can see that there's tears wiping the side of her face as she wipes her eyes very quickly, just kind of biting against her nail, and then she shakes her head. I'm sorry. I don't know really why I'm telling you all of this. I don't really know what you could say to make me feel better. It's just, I guess I'm trying to be a part of this whole process, though I'm not gonna lie, I don't really see how it's gonna fucking help. Talking about the way I feel doesn't feel like it changes anything. It just makes me feel like I'm a fucked up mother.
Not yet. I don't think you are. I mean...
You don't really know me beyond what's in my file.
That's true. That's very true. And I only know what your parents told me about you. They did say some good things in there, too.
That's shocking.
Kind of begin to reach my hand out to put it around her, like, oh, sorry, I don't want to overstep or anything. You just kind of...
She does see you. She doesn't flinch away from you. But she does, at the slight brushing of your skin against her, she goes, wow, you're cold.
Yeah, I always forget to turn the heater on when I'm napping.
Maybe you're right, Mr. Holland. I'm still going to talk to Cindy tomorrow. I told her I would. I got nothing else better to do, so I guess talking is better than nothing and staying stuck in my own head. But I appreciate at least knowing that you seem like you actually want to listen. And I'm not just some number on a file. Another person to check off and release back into the world, hoping that I'm a success. So I gotta go turn in. Like I said, I have a lot to think about.
Agreed. As I stand up, I offer out my hand to help her up.
She does take your hand. You can feel a slight shiver on her grasp as she touches your ice cold flesh.
I'm gonna slowly go in for just a very impromptu hug, just very you look like you need this.
Go ahead and make a charisma plus persuasion.
4 successes on that.
4 successes. Despite her apprehension at the temperature of your skin, as there's a lack of life going through your veins, she doesn't pull away from you. In fact, she does lean into the hug, and it's almost awkward at first, but after a second, she does hug you a bit tighter as you can kind of feel her shoulders shudder just a little bit. seems like a wave of emotion seems to hit her suddenly.
As I notice when she calms down is when I go in for a feed.
How much you take from her?
Just one.
Just one hunger.
Just enough.
It is caloric. It is bitter. It is biting. But it has life. There is a smoothness to it underneath the prickly nature, like dark chocolate. Something that doesn't catch you the way you expect. And the longer the flavor savors as you drink to satisfy just the hint of your urges. And you pull yourself away, seal the wound shut with a lick. The existence of your nature completely disguised. Miranda shudders as she lolls her head forward. Oh! She seems to almost lose balance into you as the euphoria of the kiss takes over.
Oh, got up too quick. Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck happened? As she wraps one arm around your neck for balance, holding you onto your chest, gripping the front of your lapel hard to stay on her feet.
I help kind of balance her up and take a few breaths. Sometimes when you get up too quickly, the blood just rushes back up and gives you that sense of delirium.
She blinks a few moments as you can see the euphoria that she's experiencing from the kiss, from the bite of kindred, fully washes over her, and she is slightly inebriated. If she shakes her head a moment, I think I need to go lie down. Maybe I didn't eat enough at lunch. I need to go lie down. Could you walk me to my room, Mr. Holland?
Yeah, of course, no problem. Here, escort her back to her room.
As you do, can't help but feel the muscle fibers in your body twitch a little bit. There's a certain limberness that seems to just reverberate through your body as this caloric blood fills your system. Being kindred's a very interesting thing. Sometimes just the right combination can unlock potentials in oneself that you never thought exist. A creature that can constantly evolve. A predator as he escorts his prey back to the safety of her cage. But for now, we'll go over to a darkened one, Crescent. As you awaken, can you also give me your morning rouse check?
Fail.
That's your first hunger since Arya. Am I correct?
Incorrect, because Grayson took one from me, so it'd be my second.
Correct, thank you.
So I'm at 2.
The orchid continues to bloom within you, but it's a little different as you envision it. As before, you're so focused on the deep, beautiful orchid, that dark bluish purple that seems almost to radiate in your darkness. Now it seems to shine a light a little brighter than it used to. That ethereal glow, that haunting glow, becoming brighter and harder to hide from. It looks almost as if the light is searching for something, but something illuminates past it. A swirling mass underneath it. Like a void empty of everything and everything that can exist. This small, frail little flower hovering above an endless abyss that only seems to grow wider as you grow hungrier. As you pull yourself to life from your own death, breathing life back into the void. You slowly get up your bed, tousle your hair, the memories of the previous days flooding through. Danica, the prince, the mayor, your desire to find what anchors you back to being human, to try and be less of what you are. Hear a deep and gruff, you take fucking forever to wake up. You see over on the other side of the room as Michael is sitting against the door of your room, cross-legged. He leans back looking at you. He squints at you a bit. Why am I here, Crescent?
You're here because I need someone to keep me from going out that door.
And why the hell do I need to keep you from leaving this room?
You don't need to do anything. I called you here just as a friend asking for a favor. If you want to leave, you can leave. I just thought you'd be the best viable option right now.
See, that's the thing about it, is that in the time that I've known you, You don't really ask for help. The most you do is to come down to my bar. You sometimes settle shit that happens, which I appreciate. I don't like getting my hands dirty. I don't like shit being broken in my bar. But you usually come for information. It's very rare, actually, no, I think it's the first time ever you've made a house call. You don't just want to stay locked away for nothing. What the hell am I keeping out? Or better yet, as I'm looking over you and the fact that you looked you about a goddamn panic attack last night, I'm trying to keep you under wraps. From what? What's going on, Little Red? Why are you getting so antsy?
A lot of things.
That's not a good answer.
Yeah, I kind of figured as much. Would you calm down?
Me? I'm always calm. You look like the one that's always trying to be deep and broody, like something's about to kill you.
Aha! All right, yeah, you're very calm.
I am calm. I'm sitting. He starts to smile at you a little bit. Crescent, you feel that provocation. You know you called him, but man, he's really poking at you. It's annoying. And it makes you miss the gentle embrace of your sire, as you feel this irritation begin to well up inside you. You go ahead and make an intelligence plus resolve as you feel the call of your sire.
2 successes.
2 successes. It's too much. You can't be here right now. You need your sire. You need her. This is too much. Danica is missing. This fucking brouhaha is in your face. You're trapped in this tiny little box. There's a ghost in here. There's no peace here. You need your sire.
Fine. Let's just call it off. You're excluded from this. I'm just gonna go.
He gets onto his feet. I don't think so.
Really? We're gonna do this right now?
You called me here. And I just saw a switch turn on last night. You're about to have a fucking panic attack. And look, I'm sitting on you now. Shoot. You look like a little fledgling. Wait a minute. Oh, hell. Is that what this is about? Do you want your mama? Are you mad that I'm picking on you? Mad that I made you go to your room last night and then you woke up and I'm still here?
You have about 2 seconds to step away from the door.
You see Michael slowly stand to his feet. Cracks one hand off the other. Cracks his neck. What you gonna do?
Don't want to do this.
What you gonna do about it, Little Red? I am moving. I'm quite comfy standing right here. It's a good spot. As you're in your room right now, what goes through your mind? What do you feel right now?
I just want to get out. And the fact that there's something in my way, I just want to get through it, if not make sure that it's never in my way again.
That fury builds up in you, doesn't it? I need you to go ahead and resist Fury Frenzy.
7 successes.
7 successes. That rage is still there. You are hell-bent that you need to go to your sire right this second. But you maintain your focus. You're not a wild animal. You're refined. You may feel that itch about ready to fight, but you know logically in your mind. You can see him as he postures. His very wide, stocky body, a head taller than you, taking up the entire space of this door frame. He's not going to get out of the way. But you need to go see your sire now. This is enough. You need a break. She would know what to do. She would know how to fix everything. And he's in your way.
I'm going to try and head for the door and dodge.
Go ahead and give me a dexterity plus athletics.
With fleet?
You can use fleetness, which will require a rouse check.
Success?
Success. You do not get hungry. You may add your 2 dice to your ability.
2.
Michael is going to activate prowess. He also fails.
You said athletics as well?
Yep, dexterity plus athletics.
Got it. Okay. 9 successes.
9 successes.
Shit.
I'm going to narrate what happens in a moment.
Oh, fuck.
As Grayson and Acer, as you're going about your respective duties, granted, neither of you have enhanced abilities, but your sensors are always a bit sharper than mortals. As all of a sudden, from wherever you both are, you hear a very dull...
Okay. I'm going to go investigate then, because I don't know what the heck that was.
Have I returned Miranda to her room by this point?
You just manage to close the door when you hear this subtle sound.
All right.
And wherever
Okay.
you currently
Next.
are, you almost feel that vibration under your feet and think, that's where Crescent's room should be.
Okay, we are moving down the list of things that need to be fixed. And I'm going to close the door, give her a small wave through the window, and definitely make my way to Crescent's room. So I assume Razor is doing the same.
Essentially, as you guys are kind of moving very briskly, I might add, to try and investigate the source of this disturbance, you actually both almost smack dab into the crossroads of the hidden passages.
Oh, hey, hi, did you hear that too?
As you hear a very much louder precision, a sound of plaster and wood breaking.
Please tell me that's just a weak structure and it's not coming where I think it's coming from.
Would you like the truth or one of those little white lies that make people feel better?
I would like the lie, please.
It's probably just some Seattle traffic.
Okay, that made me feel better. All right, now let's go take care of the truth. And
he walks by me and I just sit there and to myself, I just think, I don't even think, that was the white lie. At least it worked, I think. And then I'm going to hurry after.
You move your way through the halls as Acer, you are the first one to come to Cress's door. As soon as you reach, you do hear the sounds of inhuman hissing and snarling on both sides. You hear the sounds of delicate ware break and shatter, the sound of wood and plaster splintering, and you can feel almost vibration coming from the floor. Do you dare open that door?
As I hear this happening, I just kind of look at Grayson and I just kind of go, this is for the best. And I go up to the little panel that controls the door opening and I kind of just pull out one of the wires. So it can't open automatically anymore. I'm just kind of like, I don't know what's going on in there, but I'm going to get shredded to ribbons if that opens. So I'm going to make sure it doesn't.
I think that's a very smart idea, actually. I feel like her friend has this under control, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
You see
100%.
Is the door metal, Acer?
Yes. The only doors that I made metal were the ones to my room, the ones to your room. Obviously, like the cell blocks, the holding facilities. But besides those was yours, mine, and the front entrance and the rear entrance of the facility.
It's a
everything else
that's metal. Because as you were standing having this conversation, you watch a crescent-sized dent right on the other side of that wall metal as he got 11 successes. Critical. And Crescent, you move
dear God,
so fast. It's like time slowed down for you as you try to shove past Michael, but he's faster. As you move with this full momentum, all of a sudden, the next thing you know is your neck is in his massive palm. As he crushes his hand around you, using the momentum, he spins you around, grinds your back along the wall. You feel wood and plaster shatter beneath you as you cry in pain, as you're slammed into the floor, run across the floor, up onto the wall again, and then thrown full force against the door, slam up against that door, and he's immediately on you, your neck to the door, pressing you into it. You can see the veins in his arm pulsing forth as he's not even sweating. He's just looking at you with very wide eyes. You are going to calm the fuck down. If you do not, I will make you calm the fuck down! As you guys can hear Michael's voice on the other side of this door.
That's what's happening.
Yep, that is what's happening.
I see.
Crescent, he has got your neck in his grasp, and you feel almost like you're a savage wildcat that's being pinned down by a bigger predator.
Just gonna stare at him.
You're gonna try and resist? Resist the urge to go see your sire as this massive man, has got you in his grasp.
Instinctually, I'm going to want a touch of oblivion, but I'm going to try and maintain sanity to not do that. I'm just going to kind of let my hand fall and just stare at him.
Go ahead and make one more attempt to resist the call. As you feel both your hands on his arm, just digging your nails in as this moment of a crossroad begins to happen of what you might do.
6 successes.
As you grit your hands, you can see that black veining of sparking oblivion seem to come up the side of your arm as you stand at Michael, as he just lowers himself to you to the point where your noses are almost touching, your eyes just locking in. You just see him just chuckle, "Do it. I fucking dare you. Just fucking do it. See what fucking happens. Come on. Either calm down or make my night. Either way, Crescent, come on, make your fucking choice." And suddenly, as you look down at his eyes, there's a fear. As you stare into this massive man, you realize you've been beaten. That fear turns you from a savage predator into prey, almost instantaneously, as you see the strength behind this man. In one swoop, he was able to bring you to your place, and he is holding you off the floor against the wall, against this metal cold door, and it cuts through you. Later. You'll see your sire later. It's not worth dying over. Because you're thoroughly convinced in this moment. You're afraid that he wouldn't be afraid to rip your head off if he had to. The question is, you're not entirely sure if he would or not. And that's the part that scares you. But you feel yourself relax. The moment your shoulders slack, you could feel that tightened grip around your throat. If you were human, you would be choking because you would need to breathe at this point. But you just kind of hang there for a moment. You visibly relax, just staring at him. And he slowly lets you slide down the wall, a good foot, and back onto your feet. You good? Better?
Yeah.
Hey. Are you good?
I'm as good as I'm gonna get.
You're pretty fast. Almost missed you there.
You don't need to pity me.
Nah, I'm not pitying anybody. That's not my style, kid. Listen. Whatever you're dealing with ain't healthy. I've seen it once or twice. This is gonna get a lot worse before it gets a lot better.
Making it sound like withdrawals or something. I've been through that.
You could sort of call it that. He leads past you on the other side of the door. You've come in if you want to now. She ain't gonna hurt nothing for now.
All right, you first.
I'm going to be the first to open up, and I'm not going to go as fast, just kind of open the door slightly, and then I'll go in normal.
It screeches something horrible as you try to move that door out of the way, as the door itself is heavily warped from that initial impact. By the way, Crescent, you do take 2 points, 1 point of superficial damage, as it is halved, as he did beat you in that conflict. As your back fucking hurts. But Grayson, as you screech that door open to peek inside, you can see the back of Crescent's torso is just clawed and teared from plaster and little bits of wood that has come off the wall. And you look around the room, there is 3 massive, long, snake-like drag marks where it looks like a bulldozer had plowed its way through the wall.
Remember when you asked me why you got the metal door? That's why. So Is everything good here?
For now. He looks over to Crescent. Crescent, how much do you like your sire? Like, truly. I met the woman. She nosed around my place a few times when she became sheriff. Eleanor, I think her name was. Here, she's been roughing up a few districts in town as well, cleaning up the rack.
Kind of her job now.
Yeah, but what do you think about her?
I mean, she saved me. She's done everything to help me. I don't really have any bad feelings.
Do you feed off her? Do you like the way she tastes?
It's a forward question.
Don't give me that sass, girl. You called me. And by my understanding, people don't typically call me until after shit's hit the fan. As he kind of looks over to you, Grayson, as shit hit the fan.
I would say the first wave of shit has already hit, and we're waiting for the second bag to be thrown in the air. So yes.
He just slowly moves his look back over to you, Crescent, as he just puts one hand in his leather jacket pocket, leans off one side. You can see some of the tattooing coming down the side of his neck, probably from his mortal days. And he just tilts his head to you. I'm going to answer the question, Little Red. No shame in it. Doesn't leave this room. You know me, I don't give a shit about politics, Camarilla or not. I'm asking. Not telling.
Yes.
How often?
I don't know. I mean, I need to feed too. And I don't exactly do mortals. I thought you knew this.
Yeah, well, I knew you didn't like humans, but I didn't know that you, fed solely on your sire.
I mean, it's not solely.
Often. Usually when you're hungry, first thing you grab to. Like you want to decide between a salad or a burger, you grab the burger first, she would be the burger.
Look, why are we talking about this again?
Because it fucking matters, Crescent. It's fucking dangerous.
Yeah, I get
And it could get both of you in a whole lot of fucking trouble in the cam. Hey, don't give me that shit. He pokes a finger into you. I'm trying to fucking help you here, little miss. Yeah. You're Mr. Holland, right?
Yeah.
She cannot fucking leave your sight. Period. She's fucking bonded.
That's what I was worried about.
And I'm not talking about ho-hum, love struck, I just got embraced, I'm a neonate type bonded. I'm talking about this is some bonding. This is going to take months. I don't know how bad it is. It could be really bad. Fact is that she didn't try to fucking kill me right now. Says a lot, but it's still bad. Crescent, do you understand what the fuck that means?
I've heard what bonding is.
Do you know what it means, though?
No, I don't know what it means.
It means you are not in full control of yourself. All of us go through it at one point, at least a little bit. Some more than others. Blood bonding is uncontrollable. You cannot separate it between yourself and the bond. You cannot separate the blood from you. The bond is you. You can't tell the difference. It's like you're addicted on the most potent substance in the whole fucking world. Problem is, you don't even realize you're taking it. It's like someone slipping a Molly into your drink every goddamn night, and you're like, this tastes like fucking champagne. But it's every night. Look, you're not the first slick out there to not like eating people, okay? You're really not. There's no shame in that. Everybody has their taste. I mean, goddamn, you see Venture and their pickiness, it puts that to shame. But what you got going on is sick. You cannot control yourself. When you are embraced, you share a bit of your sire's blood. It makes you wake up enthralled by them. You love them. You can't get away from it. You feel like they're there to protect you, like a parent. But that's gonna get worse if you keep feeding off them. Most of us don't do that. Most of us maybe stay around that threshold. Usually sires have to keep us under their thumbs, kind of canny way, to make sure that we all stay in line under those in charge. Be a little bonded to the person who made us. Have that person bonded to the next person. It causes loyalty within controlled doses. But you push that too far, you become obsessed. It's like watching two people that are in love fucking kill each other because they talked to somebody else. Because they were too jealous they couldn't have him anymore. That you were away from your sire, and the fact that you were going to rip my neck off. I know the look in that. I saw the kill in your eyes. You want to try and take my head off just because I was standing in the way between you and your sire. I'm your fucking friend. You called me and you wanted to kill me. Worst part about it is you don't even know what the fuck you're doing. He looks over you. Hey, sir. String bean, that's why you called me?
Well, I didn't have a name for it, but yeah, basically.
Is this problem? Is this the first time she's had an outburst like this?
No, she's had others.
Oh, fuck.
Look, I get it. It's bad. You don't have to talk about me like I'm not here.
Look, I'm sorry. You're not some freak, okay? It happens. It's not good.
Oh, you could have fooled me with all that talk.
I'm sorry, but it's not too often I stared at a fucking Lasombra in the face with that intent to kill me and keep my cool. You're lucky I didn't just take your fucking head off. I don't get
Gonna
fucking...
look back to the dent in the door.
Crescent, I had to get serious with you for a minute there. Now I'm a little fucking hungry thanks to that. I don't like having to get serious with my friends. I don't care that the Bruja don't like you. I don't care that you got some shit-ass reputation because of that damn blood hunt a few years back. I fucking don't give a shit. Fact of the matter is, you don't just want to kill your friends. At least, not in our society, typically. Unless they got something to gain out of it that's substantial. I'll help. Okay, Crescent, I will help. It's gotta be your choice. Do you want my help?
I don't know.
Well, you think about it. I'm gonna go the fuck home. I got a bar to run and probably some shit I'm thinking that I need to orientate just in case I need to get called out here again. But you think about what the fuck you want and think real hard about what I said. Because here's the thing. I like you, Crescent. I ain't gonna stick my neck versus you in the cam, though. I like my head on my shoulders. And there's too much shit going out there right now between the cam and the anarchs and all this nonsense. Politically, I ain't getting riled up again. I'm hungry. And I would rather not turn your friend center in an all-you-can-eat buffet.
And please don't. It already seems like that.
Yeah,
to be
it's
honest.
we're already dealing with that problem.
Yeah, no,
with
I noticed
Genghis.
Genghis. As loudmouth Genghis is, he doesn't act in accordance to the way he says. The last thing that I heard, too, I don't even know if he's fully anarch.
Wait,
What?
What?
I don't know a lot about it. I really don't. But one of my guys happened to mention they saw him hanging out with DeSubel at an old jazz club not too far away outside of town.
Who?
He looks over to Grayson,
DeSubel.
head of the big old pointy pyramid, as he gestures over to Grayson. I don't know what they do. All I know is that they sometimes like to go to the same jazz club every other week. Look, all I'm saying is there's a reason why I don't get into politics with kindred, okay? It's complicated. Just because you're an anarch or a cami doesn't always mean jack shit. Yeah, we're not supposed to like each other. Yeah, we have different ideals that cause us to want to fucking rip each other's heads off because, frankly, I like the cam in the sense of peace and quiet. As long as the rules are followed, nobody bothers me. And sometimes a slight irritation of a blood tax, or the sheriff needs help, or I gotta turn some fucking lick in that's breaking the rules. But beyond that, shit stays quiet, people keep coming to my bar, I still get paid, and I get to live the way I want to live. I disagree. A lot of Bruja disagree with me, but Bruja are always disagree with each other. That's just the way it is. The point is, I get the sense there's something more going on between the anarchs and the camp that are on the surface. I don't know what it is. I don't care to find out. I'm not involved. But food for thought. Anyway, I got a bar to fucking lock down just in case. He looks at you, Crescent, for a moment. See that he's going to say something. Pulls back before putting a gentle hand on your shoulder, just gently pushing off the side. A little affectionately, for Michael at least. Before looking over to for you, Mr. Holland. Call me if this one gets out of line again. And be really fucking careful when her and her sire are in the same room together. And be really fucking careful. He walks by you.
Just as he's leaving, I'm going to say, thanks for stopping by, Michael.
Yeah. Stop by the bar next time. Don't cause trouble.
All right. Crescent,
Grayson,
stable enough to do what needs to be done?
what exactly needs to be done?
I need to find a rat.
I think it's a good time to take a small intermission while we gather some water. I'll take this moment before we take off to thank you all so much for joining us. And don't forget, if you enjoy what you see, don't forget to hit that subscription button. It does help us out, but there's never any pressure. Just your simple patronage and your viewership is what keeps us going. We'll be back momentarily. Don't go anywhere. You all come back in now within Acer's laboratory. The electronics hum and vibrate as the various electronics in his space rear to life at his approach.
So I'll say, first things first, if we want to just get down rolling, I do have some names to research for the prince.
Okay. How many names we talking?
So for that specific unit, looks like there was two of them. The two members consist of Walter Ambrose and Hillary Renton.
Okay. Let's do things simply first. I'm going to go ahead and pull up some public files on them to see what the general population thinks of these two people. Just general information, who they are, where they're currently at, stuff like that.
That would be, I'll say for this, a intelligence plus insight. As you're trying to find public articles, not necessarily difficult technologically wise, but you're trying to interpret them as you get them.
1, 2, 3. Do I want to spend a willpower? No, 3's fine.
3 successes. With 3 successes, you are able to pull out some various news clipping articles saved on archived sites, as well as police records that have been publicized. As the very first thing that catches you is that public information is a little bit hit and miss with these two, as they are detectives. They are not currently undercover, which is why their information is within the public database of the police station. You do find both their pictures. Detective Walter Ambrose is a lighter-skinned individual with brownish, gingery hair, stubble up on his cheeks. Attempts to shave, it looks like, but trying to make something presentable within his police uniform and cap. You also see a detective... Hillary Renton is a more olive-skinned woman, beauty mark on the right side of her face, brown eyes, also within her police uniform. Very, very serious military-esque like posture between them. It seems a lot of their news clippings are fairly positive. Detective Walters shows a few big busts within CEOs Inside Trading, probably about 4 years back or so. He actually just recently broke news coming out of cover after he had made a huge human trafficking bust. Being undercover for an extensive amount of time and is already back in action and active duty, though currently within the public eye. Detective Hillary Renton, also quite a few successes under her belt. Looks like she busted a couple of gangs quite a few weeks ago, put some big high-value targets in that gang away. However, it does look like that her overall public appeal have attempted to try and get her removed from her position a few times. It appears that some people have gone on record to say that during interrogation processes where she had very circumstantial evidence at best, she came across very aggressive, is the variant that you would find in the colorful postings on social media. She has been, as far as people know, on medical leave, at least based on the public records within the police station, as it seemed that she had been assaulted by one of the gang members that she had been affiliated with when she put their higher-ups away. And she has been on medical leave for about 2 months now while she heals. Paid.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn to Grayson and be like, all right, Titan, slight problem. Those 2 names, pretty decorated, which means they suddenly go missing. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a search out for them.
Prince didn't say that we had to take them out. We just need to convince them to give up whoever is the one doing it.
Specifically for your recollection, Grayson, he did say that the problem needed to be taken care of by whatever means needed before loose words were spoken, and as expediently as possible. The grammar wasn't necessarily direct, but it's implied that this has to be a permanent solution one way or another. But he didn't say necessarily you had to kill them either.
Which is a good thing. I'd rather not have to resort to that, because, like you said, Acer, if one of these people goes missing, they will know. It may attract more attention.
Then the best solution is to play the long game, figure out which one is which, and completely and utterly destroy their reputation to the point where they have to be forced to resign, thereby cutting off communication with their source.
We could do something like Stone, where we discredit any evidence they have, and if they have no evidence, no longer a problem.
Which, in theory, would work, but again, these guys, super decorated. Their word is going to carry quite a bit of weight, and if we're going to go down that route, legal battles are going to be a thing.
They're not perfect. From what I learned, both of them have spotted history. The public record doesn't show it, obviously. Both of them have had multiple complaints about interrogation method. Renton, she has been known for her excessive force, and she's sometimes dipped beyond the scope of her practice. Something along the lines of turning off her police camera during certain actions.
Yeah, there have been several accusations, but none of them in detail on the web. So really, we'd have to go into the redacted files, which...
Go into government.
I guess would be a good time to fire up that program and see what exactly our Page decided to write down.
I hate to ask, but your friend, would it be easier for them to get this information?
Oh God, yes, but no, I definitely don't want to involve him right now.
We may not have a choice. The Prince made it clear we need this solved quickly. No exact date, but for him it means as quickly as possible. I don't know why he doesn't just say it.
Okay, let me try it this way. My friend is a parallel yet opposite version of me.
So I assume unstable?
15 times more unstable, 15 times the mass, as well as 15 times the crazy. You know all this vampire stuff? Yeah, I don't like it. I hate it. I want to be normal. Him, he would revel in this shit.
Does he know
he already
about you?
Wears leather and pretends to be.
Does he know about you specifically?
God, no. I would never hear the end of it if he knew I was like this. Also, points to Crescent, don't want him near that.
For his own safety.
More than you think.
What are we talking about? Sorry. What?
I was inquiring about his odd friend.
Acer has an odd... Actually, I'm not surprised. Okay.
Yeah,
Why?
She has red hair, currently lives in a tower. If it were any longer with a window, she'd be able to throw it out.
Aha,
Get
yeah,
someone to
very
climb it.
funny. Would you like to see the end of my gun?
I helped build that shit. I'm pretty sure I know what it looks like, but thank you.
See, Grayson.
Okay, well, I'll show you other weapons that you haven't had a part of.
Grayson circles around so he's not in direct sight of Crescent.
You do see that Grayson does slowly, but very casually, without breaking eye contact with Acer, begins to move on to a safer, less direct path.
Point being, I would like to keep him out as much as humanly possible.
Why do we even need this friend?
Because this guy is better and worse. It's a weird comp. Okay, so Remember how I said I was a white hack when it comes to hacking?
Right, you were more.
Yes, vaguely.
Yeah, so
I
quick
vaguely know what that
synopsis.
means.
Allow me to explain really quick then. People pay me to break into their things. I break into them and then give them a report on how I did it so they can fix it, make it better, and make it more secure.
Okay.
That's how we make a living. He is a black hat. He is the one that all the movies are trying to emulate. I can break into your social security, steal your identity, steal your wallet, and you will never know.
Hey, sir, you realize I haven't seen a movie in like 20 years, but
Right. Okay.
but I think I get the concept.
Yeah, basically. So, in terms of defending his system, I can't hold a candle to him. Dude's a
Okay, so
freaking
he's-
impenetrable wall.
Elms
Well,
on
if you
cue,
think- what-
Acer's phone was bzzz.
I'm gonna check it really quick.
It is a very large serial dot number. It doesn't actually come with a static phone number, but you do see a single message from an undiagnosed recipient say, "Thank you."
And as I kind of flip the phone, he constantly likes to tell me how shitty my security is, which, again, I studied more to be the spear, not the shield, so
Wait,
yeah,
is he listening to this?
barely.
Because if he is, he already knows about.
I have my phone encoded to glitch out or omit certain words, so all I
You can
get
do
is static.
You get another vibrate.
I'm gonna check it again.
It just says, "Is annoying."
Yeah, I can do that. Point is,
Okay.
we shouldn't involve him. As I turn to the phone and yell a little louder. He is a great friend, but is not needed in the conversation.
Well, it sounds like if you can do something.
The phone
I'm
goes off
yelling, but
again.
I know that my voice isn't going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
The phone goes off again.
I just open it up.
It's a couple eggplant emojis.
I'm gonna go ahead and pull out like a little Faraday cage and put my phone in there and then close it. Case in point, not a good idea. Not unless we really, really need to.
Well,
So-
I mean, it sounds like it would be a help. Why not?
We have this thing, we made a promise to each other that we would not steal information from each other. We can hack each other all we want, but we can't steal info. And he's been upholding it, and so have I. Problem is, if we bring him in, I need to tell him everything. Because he is very
Oh.
meticulous about preparations. And if there's just a single key detail off, it apparently messes with his rhythm.
Well, you might want to stop talking. If he can hear you, he's going to know that
Okay, I
something.
put the phone in the Faraday cage. No signal gets in that.
Okay. Okay, so. What do we have going on? We have Danica missing. We have the prince's errand, which I'm assuming has to be done as soon as possible. And you said we have 2 suspects?
Correct.
They're the only 2 within that unit, so at least that narrows down the search.
Okay. If one's been on leave, though, how have they been spying or
I mean,
being a sort of mole for
she
the
was
internet?
injured. She was injured by a gang members. Maybe they got a hold of her, but maybe she caught a lucky break.
Or it could be regular gang members, and if we decide to stop by and grab the wrong person, the other one's going to know and split.
See, the problem here is that we have what's the phrase? Like too many eggs in one basket or something like that. Like we've got too many moving parts right now. We've got, I mean, this thing with Danica is like time is of the essence, and this thing with the prince, which by all means is fucking stupid. Sorry, it is.
I'm not grimacing about that.
And then I'm trying to just stabilize my own sanity right now, just to focus on these 2 things.
I have an idea.
By all
Acer.
means, please.
Acer,
Yeah.
You said you could track phones. You bug them.
I bug everyone who works in this facility.
Do you have Danica's phone?
Oh shit.
If it hasn't run out of battery, I can ping it and get a location on it.
Let's start with that. And then afterwards, maybe we can ping the 2 phones of those other members. Like, they're just phones. They should show up.
That would solve one
True.
problem.
But the difference is I don't have any malware on them. I have to get the malware on the phone first before I can actually have access to it.
You look for maybe just... There
Are you
has to be...
suggesting
Maybe
that we take the cell phone of Genghis? Because, I mean, we could take Genghis' cell phone.
Well, we can deal
If
with
you-
him.
Yeah, by the way, if you can nab that, I would love to bug it.
I mean, with Grayson's help, I might be able to.
As a matter of fact, I want a priority on that because what Michael said disturbs me.
What part?
That person he's talking to, supposedly.
Yeah, isn't that like the head of the Chancery for you?
Of my Chantry, yes.
I thought
don't
he didn't
like-
care about Tremere or anything.
Here comes Michael with the second bit of information where he may not be full Anarch all of a sudden. I mean, he's Tremere or Camarilla.
Okay,
It
if
just
he's not Camarilla and he's not Anarch, what is he?
It just doesn't seem right. Why would he be talking to a Tremere? Especially the head of the Chantry.
I may be giving Genghis maybe a little too much credit, but is it possible he's working both sides?
He could. But-
I mean, it's possible. It's just... Oh, God.
By
none of this makes
the way,
sense. Okay.
storyteller, this entire time I am typing on my computer to try and see if I can ping the phone.
Go ahead and give me for this. Give me a. You've already pre-done the work, so this is going to be a larceny. So go ahead and do an intelligence plus technology as you've already done the pre-work.
Because if it was a Tremere, it would make a lot more sense for somebody to know about my aversion to roses.
Wait, someone knows about your aversion to roses?
They
Oh, my
specifically
God, that's
had
right.
someone specifically left a rose at Danica's house on her bed.
Well, who all knows about that? I mean, Medico
Thanks,
knows
by the
about
way.
that because that came up in conversation, but who else knows about that?
How many?
6.
6 successes. Nothing. The moment you hit the ping, it comes back empty, as in fact the device is not even functioning.
No dice.
Damn it!
It looks like based off with that amount of successes, it hasn't been active though in several days, leading to think that either the phone is at least non-functioning for several days.
Okay, well, scrolling through her log, there's been a few days where it pretty much shut off entirely, whether it was broken, turned off. I don't know.
Messages? Anything? Calls?
Do you really want me to poke into that stuff?
Do I really
Wait,
want
a
you to
few
find my
days?
one few days?
Yeah.
Few days.
I'm just saying, you seem to trust Danica a lot, and as I'm saying this, I'm already breaking into her phone and looking through all the past messages from the website. I mean, it would be completely irresponsible to actually bring something up like that, and oh, look.
Yeah,
So,
you're already bringing it up, aren't you?
as you're looking through it, there's 2 things. I'll use your previous roll. You are able to get a log of the last bit of communication she has. It seems that she had a 25-minute conversation with a contact in her device labeled Mom. A short text message to appears to a older brother asking what they want her to bring with her to Thanksgiving dinner. As she's making preparations, appears to go see them. The problem is that it makes you very concerned is that you didn't pull that up on her phone directly. You had to pull that up off the nearby tower that hosts their service. It appears any data is not being transmitted from the phone, period, off or on. Which, with your intelligence, highly suggests the phone itself has been destroyed, is no longer functioning mechanically.
That's more concerning. Okay, so there is a possible chance that the phone is just straight up destroyed.
Acer,
Yep.
that night, when you said you went out, and you went to the shipping yard.
What shipping yard?
I went out hunting because kind of getting a little peckish, needed to calm down a little bit, and went out hunting, ended up finding a guy that was taking people for trade. The only thing on the crates that I saw was just some sort of picture of lipstick. Ironically, as I pull out the card, it looked like this. And I'm staring directly at Crescent at this point.
So you're sure that it's the exact same?
It's the exact same symbol.
Okay, and this was in a shipping yard with what again?
People.
Just as a outside note, Crescent, did you tell Grayson about the meeting with that?
I did mention it. Not in detail, but I did mention that there was someone.
Do you remember what clan they were?
Ventru. Why?
I assume Grayson would know at least about symbols for the other clans.
Yes. For this particular symbol, when it comes to this tag, it doesn't match any of the traditional clan symbols. I'll say for this, go ahead and make an intelligence plus streetwise.
Okay.
Do I need to call her? I mean, I can't call her. Does Acer need to call her?
I can, but she's not exactly expecting a call from me. So.
I mean, if you tell her that I'm involved, she might actually talk to you.
I'm going to use a willpower.
You take a bit of super professional willpower.
Okay. All these guys. Okay, much better. 3 successes.
3 successes. You're not super well versed in a lot of the street symbols that go wrong. You know that kindred like to do a lot of street art and tag territories, personal insignias to help different factions. You recognize usually if you see like a chantry pyramid symbol or like Illuminati eye somewhere, it usually marks like the area that the Subal and the Chantry take over. If you usually see like an emerald tag somewhere, it's usually the areas around the Prince's Tower that tends to be his territory. That particular symbol, though, doesn't elicit a territory. It elicits an organization. You have heard of the Whispers name of the circulatory system. It is a slightly underground faction of kindred that work not just in Seattle, but everywhere. The network goes very wide. Its main design is, in short, DoorDash. A kindred is hungry. They can call upon those contacts in the circulatory system to provide them with a meal in exchange for a boon. The harder the meal, the bigger the boon, to be called at a certain time. It is a simple quid pro quo transaction. But it is deeply suggested that they have to have stock. And sometimes missing people can be usually explained to that stock. You're not entirely sure how the whole system works, as you never had a direct interaction with a contact member, but you do recognize that tag typically means that's probably either their territory or their property, or at least what they consider to be as such. Most don't interfere with the circulatory system, though, out of fear of retribution, though.
That symbol belongs to them. At least I think so. I've heard rumors about them.
I mean, I told you, Erica approached me. She's from the circulatory system. She said I could find another way to feed. It's just in exchange for boons, which obviously, again, I don't really trust that. And even Eleonora told me not to trust that. So of course I'm not going to go for that. But she wasn't exactly mean or anything. She's actually kind of pleasant for a venture.
It's a possibility, but it's maybe reaching.
Okay, clearly we need a little help, so what if I track down the guy who hacked my system?
How is that going to help?
My system is no slouch. You're not going to get past it if you're just getting into hacking, or even if you're, let's say, decent at it. You have to be pretty damn good at what you do to get into it. And dude left me a crumb trail. He wants me to find him, which means he knows exactly how I'm going to do it.
Guys, this is our territory now. We can go ask around.
That may be the best.
Great. Finally get out of here. Let's fucking do it.
So, I will say this, as you are all debating this. The night is still young, despite the long conversations. Currently, as you all do have many avenues to deal with, what is the thing you wish to focus on tonight? It is winter, the nights are so longer, there may be time for multiple things. However, you do have many pressing matters to try and attempt to do in a single night, if that's what you're trying to do. So I have to ask, is your focus for now? Are you going with the Prince's Matters, or are you abandoning that for more personal gains and gambling with time you may not have?
Personally, speaking out of character, I would like to follow this breadcrumb trail, because if I can get a hold of him, he clearly has more network than I do, and we can possibly make a deal with him.
It's not a bad idea. Me and Crescent maybe we can go around that area and see if anybody maybe saw anything or knows.
What I will say is, out of character, the knowledge your characters all possess is you all have the means to be able to locate the individuals that you're seeking. Between the public records, things that Acer has dug up, and his ability, and the fact that you guys have spoken to the mayor, you have names. You have the ability to try and find these individuals. It's just a matter of you guys need to decide and act.
Why don't we split up?
Agreed.
You guys start asking around, do what you need to do, focus on your thing, I'll focus on my thing. I'll track down the guy and see if I can't make a deal with him.
Chris, and I say first things first, let's me and you go out and see if maybe we can find a home for these cops. And then afterwards we can check around Danica's area.
So long as it gets me out of these walls, I will go.
So, I'm to understand that Mr. Holland and Crescent, you guys are going to hit the streets and try and see if you can find some word of mouth within your territory, while Acer is going to track down his secret admirer.
That seems correct to me.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll start with Grayson and Crescent, as we'll be working in quick snap-to-backs for the sake of functionality as best I can. So, who's going to be spearheading this interaction within the territory?
I should probably do that since I have a decent amount of streetwise.
Yeah.
This is going to be a single challenge, not too necessarily difficult, as luckily this is within your own territory, and it is fairly decently sized, even but nudges up to core Seattle almost now.
Can I do one thing before I leave?
Of course.
Can I go up to my room and see if I received any response from my sire?
You do see there is a letter on your windowsill.
Goodness. I'm going to open up my windowsill just enough and slip the letter in and close it.
It's a little damp from the rain, as usual around this time of year, but you pop it open and it is from your sire. It's a very short message, and usually you can tell short means serious. As he says, I will be there tonight, late. I will need to stay afterwards.
I'm going to take that letter and I'm going to replace it, but I'm going to put it in my locked drawer. I'm going to turn to Crescent and say, we may at least be getting some help and insight. My sire will be here tonight, luckily later, so we have time.
All right. Then while the night is young.
Indeed. And I'm already making my way out of my study.
Okay. So, I would like to ask, for its preparation's sake, what are both of you bringing as you leave the facility?
Guns. I'm bringing my Vipers and probably a dagger.
Okay.
And my glove and boots are definitely coming with me.
Fair enough. All right. Are you all walking, or are you taking the company van? Or Crescent's bike? In combination of such.
I'm going to regret this, but Crescent.
Uh-huh. Come on, Grayson.
Would you like to take your bike? Don't worry.
Yeah, come on, let's go.
Wonderful.
Gonna like merrily just kind of skip over to the garage.
It is blaringly loud as you hop on the back of her bike, causing you to jolt ever so slightly as she, as always, guns it out of the driveway, peeling past the curb, narrowly missing the blockade from the front gate as she halfway slides at an angle, barely clocking you in the face with the drop guard of the actual front gate. You see Rudy just jump back out of the way as he sees you fly off, and you see him shaking his head as you are just holding on to Crescent for dear life, as this is not your style.
Is there any way we could do this without destroying my property?
Last I checked, I didn't destroy anything, and I'm just gonna take his arm and just like pat it on my side.
As he is vice gripping you with both strong arms, and if you were mortal, you'd have probably a hard time breathing as he is crushing your ribs. But at least in your own death, it just gives you a sick bit of torment.
And I'm just gonna look for any individuals that might look not particularly mortal.
Well, when it comes to scouting out, mortal and unmortal is hard to define, at least when it comes to glancing blows. But Grayson, you do know the territory pretty well, and you have a good sense of your typical people that you could probably blend in and socialize with a safe distance away from Crescent. So you go through bouts of driving into an area, you disembarking, asking questions, disembarking again, rinse and repeat for the sake of a couple hours. I'll say for this, go ahead and give me a charisma plus streetwise, and go ahead and add your lean, which will be +2.
Charisma, streetwise, my lean. So it's +2. Got it. Nice. 5 successes with
5 successes. You feel it's better to talk to mortals in this case. Dealing with kindred, with the nature of the Prince's Letter, you get the sense it's probably safer to avoid causing any rippling between our own kind, just in case things might trace back to sensitive ears. But you do ask for mortals, inquiring, I'm assuming specifically about the current location, Detective Walter and Detective Halery.
That is correct, yes.
Catching through to the people, it takes you a bit of time, trying to piece together mortal information. They recognize you. A lot of people are indebted to you. Families know you. Friends of families know you. You've helped their son, their daughter, their uncle, etc. You're a well pillar of this community. In fact, people are pretty much in awe to see you on the streets. A little bit concerned to see you on the back of a bike, but it's not hard for you to kind of wave the dismay as you flatten off your hair a little bit, pick a bug out of your teeth, and feign excitement in a way. You do get the sense that Detective Hillary, based on what it seems to be a friend of hers, she's probably still at home. Last time that this individual saw her, she was still pretty messed up. Stab wounds here and there, pretty bandaged up, doesn't want to leave the house. In fact, she picked up her groceries for her yesterday morning. Saw her, she was still there. So she seems she's still at her residence, which the woman was more than happy to give you, thinking whatever story you want to present her, that to give it to you, as is within your territory. It's not too difficult. Detective Walter, though, took a bit longer to kind of pin down. You do run into a few of his cop buddies kind of walking down the street, not as nearly as arrogant as Stone, but they recognize you, feel bad, honestly, for the situation you've been under, keep a good image of, and definitely have been told to respect your stationary within the community and not to treat you harshly. One individual, male cop, seemed a little bit reluctant to speak about his, companion in blue, but he did hear that Detective Walter had actually left his station early today to go hang out in Core Seattle in the local park. The specific recreational area usually used for people gathering to play life-size chess, play at the park, sit on park benches, enjoy a typical Seattle dog that's so popular amongst the populace and the tourists themselves. It appears he decided to leave early today to go there. By what I understood, to hang out. Maybe to get some relaxation time as he's been working very hard. It does appear that he, as far as you know, as of at least this individual thought about an hour ago, he seems to probably be over there somewhere.
Okay, good. That's a place. And it's possible he'd be there. I'd say I would definitely let Crescent know and make our way towards Core Seattle.
Is that where you
All
guys
right, so
wanna
we're going after the guy.
Says he made his way over to Park, Central Seattle, left work a little bit early.
All right.
Okay.
So for Seattle.
Little park where they like to meet a dog, play some chess, discuss. Sounds like a perfect place for a meeting.
Sounds like it's super populated, though, even at this time of night.
I believe it's a risk we're going to have to take.
You guys make it off into the city. While that's going on, and it takes about an hour or so passes, Acer, what are you up to?
Take the IP address, and he's going to backtrace it to wherever it was bought.
As in where the laptop itself was bought?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Go ahead for this. This is going to be a wits plus investigation.
Yeah, I'm going to use a willpower to reroll 2 dice.
All right, you take a point of superficial willpower damage.
And you know what? Just for the hilarity of it, I'm going to go ahead and use that blood die that we have too.
All right, Acer's going to go ahead and use the blood die on the board.
Bacon, it's spicy.
Thank you, blood die. So that's 4 successes.
4 successes. Dipping in to your enhanced instincts, Vitae coursing through you, focusing, honing yourself. You're able to track that IP back to a secondhand shop. Looks like a pawn shop where he was able to buy it. Not too far away from your territory, maybe a good 3 or 4 blocks away. Not a very notable pawn shop. It just literally says pawn shop. It is a secondary shop that's not common. Getting into the system is child's play. It looks like it's run by an older man. Most shops like this don't have very good security. With your natural intelligence, that's an easy wash. You push your way through without even being noticed. Going through the records, you're able to locate the IP, and that particular laptop was bought with cash. However, before you get disappointed, you see that he bought a secondhand warranty and left an address on it.
Okay. Clever little fuck. Now we're getting somewhere. So I'm going to throw that address in, and I'm going to see how far away it is from me.
That particular address is very far away. That is all the way in Northgate, which you are on the far southern right-hand side of Seattle. It would take you all night to walk, probably get there by bus in an hour or 2 hours. Personal car might get there about an hour and a half.
All right, I'm going to go on a road trip. What cars do we currently have in the garage?
Currently, you have a company van that you all use to transport patients to and from pickup locations. It is refined enough in the sense of it is a van without windows and is recognizable from your treatment center with essentially the company logo plastered on the side. You have the employee vehicles, including Medico's car, that has since been now fixed with a fresh new hot pink coat, thanks to Grayson reimbursing her for damages, thanks to Crescent. Crescent's bike is gone, so there's that. Grayson's truck, still messed up. Probably drivable, not reliable.
I am taking the Do You Want Ice Cream Mobile?
It's not too hard to get into this vehicle as the company keys are always on the hook inside the garage itself. I mean, you guys have such tight security, no need to worry about locking up the keys because anyone that needs them is already here. But you, do you let Rudy know or do you just take it?
Oh no, I'm definitely going to let him know. I'm going to be like, hey man, need the car.
Easy enough as you are already in the van and pulling up to the checkpoint as he looks like he's running checkpoint tonight. He's a little confused on why you suddenly need it because he's never seen you really leave ever, but has no means to stop you. He wishes you good luck and tell you to scratch the paint as you pull your way out and begin driving down the road towards your long trek towards Northgate. Do you take anything with you?
My knife, my phone, and the toy grenade from the Halo set. I'm going to go ahead and take that too.
You take a prop fake plasma grenade with you, your dagger, your phone, and you peel on out. You hit the streets to go meet whoever it is was on the other end of that laptop. In the meantime, as you drive off, taking the time that Grayson and Crescent would have taken, we're going to go ahead and go back to them now. Takes you roughly about an hour to get into the city. Hope you all dress warm, beyond Crescent wearing her typical leathers, because it is definitely raining a tad. By the time you get into the center of the city, you are all sufficiently wet. A little cold, but you're dead. Cold doesn't bother you that much anyway. After about an hour or so of hitting through the highways, frustratingly have to stop and allow Crescent to very carefully weave herself in between the cars without killing the bike, as legal with slow speeds, you are all able to make it into core Seattle. The lights blaring, the city alive, cars stop and go, buses honk at you as you cut them off, and people shout left and right. The bare bones of the inside of core Seattle at its finest. As you begin to pull up closer within the area that you were last told about, what do you guys want to do?
I'm going to need to put the bike, find a place to park it, maybe somewhere a little bit less auspicious.
Give me a wits plus drive.
Beautiful. I love that. 2 successes.
2 successes. Not necessarily a hard challenge. You peel through the center street, and Grayson, you do kind of whip your head around as the area was described. You kind of have to, you see past you a couple times as Crescent comes by, sees those parking spaces, peels around the block, gets cut off by a few people who she swerves out of the way very dramatically, kind of screeching the rubber on the wet cement a little bit as she cuts around again. Still nothing. And then one more time, a third round. And you're starting to get a little concerned because you need to be over there. And you're still on the bike. Before Crescent, you come back around and you see actually someone about to pull into a spot that's now opened up, and you cut in right there, just shaving it off barely within inches, pulling into the spot, hitting it down. Immediately, a man in a massive Hummer pops open the front of his doors. You fucking bitch, that was my goddamn spot! As he's this very large man, a little bit of a beer gut, kind of hops out the front of his very bright yellow Hummer.
We've been driving around for a while. A little exercise never hurt.
I don't give a shit how long you've been driving around. This was my spot. He comes around the front. You better not fucking scratch my paint.
I suggest you move. And I'm going to activate Shadow Cloak.
You're going to try intimidate him?
Yep.
All right, go ahead and roll manipulation plus intimidation plus add your obvious predator to it.
4 successes.
4 successes. You whip around on this individual, not even letting the facade leave you. You just stare him straight down. He's a good half a head taller than you, but the moment he makes eye contact with you, it's very obvious he's trying to play it off. He says, yeah, well, you didn't fucking scratch my car, but you know what? You're kind of a bitch, you know that? As he kind of spins around and starts getting back into his car, he flicks on the lights way brighter than they need to be, just like a royal jackass as he slowly begins to pull out. A car behind him honks and peels out of there.
Just gonna wave to him, and then I'll turn around to Grayson. That should solve that problem, right?
I mean, he did have a Hummer, so already kind of an asshole.
Exactly. I kind of thought that you'd be on my side with that one.
It's a close call, but I'll let that one slide.
So I should probably maintain distance while you're talking to people, right? And I don't exactly want to talk to people.
No, that's probably best that you...
Sweet. All right,
Give me a decent distance away. Try not to attract too much attention. Let's just say keep me within your eyesight.
Okay, can do. You're gonna be a little bit on your own. Just give me a signal, whistle, do something.
I tell you what, for a signal, I'll reach up and adjust my glasses, okay?
Perfect, okay. I can do that.
Great.
Be careful, please.
Hey, good news. A little bit quicker than I used to be, so at least I got that going. Because I just kind of like the friendly dip my head down just a little bit for her, like, thank you.
I'll just lean against my bike and wait for him.
Okay. So, You lean against the bike as you are parked as close as you can be, about across the street from this local recreation area. Even at this time of night, which is roughly about maybe 8 o'clock, it is bustling. It is a Friday night. People are getting off work. It's time to meet up with friends and mingle within the city. Grayson hops off a little bit shakily off the back of your bike, despite his bravado. He's not
readjusting, kind of like zipping up my jacket just a little bit more. Like, okay,
clothes a little bit damp. You kind of swat off a carried bit of muck that kind of flung off the side of your jacket as trying to stay perfectly clean.
I'll give him a smirk and a bit of an up down as he leaves too.
He's a little ruffled, little bit. Not any bad for anybody else, but for Grayson standards, he's ruffled. You kind of fix your hair a little bit, try to get yourself back into that OCD present, but you can't do much about the wetness of your clothes as you've been hitting raindrops about 60 to 80 miles an hour on your own. Regardless, you make your way across the street watching for cars. It is, as I said, heavily populated. There are tens of dozens of people waiting for buses that are coming and going. There are some people protesting about some kind of hot take that's going on, some kind of trial that might be being overturned of some kind. It's hard to say. A lot of it becomes white noise here in Seattle as there's a protest or an argument going on every day. There are some homeless people that are actually littering at the side of the street. In fact, as you pass, you do see a man with a very thick overcoat with a hood up, holding out a small cup, just shaking it. You hear a little bit of change inside as he has his head down, just shaking it to you as you pass by.
I'll give him a little bit of loose change from my pocket if I have any.
You lean down and give a bit of loose change. The moment the coins hit the cup, though, the shaking stops, and you look up to see a very wide, bloodshot eye peek up from the hood and just look at you straight and directly. You can't quite see the rest of his features. You can see very heavily disfigured, charred, and wrinkled skin on the side of his face that comes through in the slight torch light, the slight lamp light from the overheads, from the slight buildings kind of casting out a nice warmish glow on this area getting closer to the holidays. But he looks right at you, this one eye. He gives you a quick up down, almost studying, looking at your face, before he kind of takes his cup and hides it underneath his coat and looks back down and you see him begin to count the change.
Did that come off as odd to me?
Go ahead and make a charisma plus insight.
Okay. 1 success.
The weirdo. Very strange.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't seem to do anything to you as you walk by, as he seems to just be murmuring very quietly to himself. You see him counting the change in his cup.
I'll just say, and I'm going to change my voice just a little bit, just make it a little more gruff sound, like, stay warm, buddy. And keep walking.
He doesn't say anything as you pass him on by. The recreation area is active. There are young adults, even some older kids playing on the park gym not too far away. You do see an older couple, seems like two older men, sitting underneath the safety of an overhang of some trees. Looks like they're playing chess. There are a couple individuals that are over in the overhang by the hot dog stand. It's busy this time and people want that Seattle dog. What shocks you as you walk by a piece of the water fountain art that cascades this beautiful sound, kind of centering in this very strange, sensory overloaded space, very wide out in the open with buildings all around. You can see the line of benches that are in this area by what appears to be like a small bit of astroturf. You can guess maybe some kind of outdoor activities where park benches are by. No road crier, do you see the detective sitting on a park bench eating a hot dog? Casually look over at the chess people every now and then, lean back, adjust his coat, try to stay warm. Seems just to take in everything around him.
I'm going to go over to the chess tables and make it look like I'm watching one of the games, and just something like close enough of a distance that I could maybe catch if he's, just so I can keep an eye on him and maybe hear something if he talks to somebody.
Okay. Go ahead and make for this. I'll say a wits plus stealth, as you're just trying to blend in, but not really be noticeable.
Wits and stealth. I would like to rouse the blood to see if I can get an extra die.
You may do so. You get a die regardless, but we'll see if you get hungrier.
Okay. I do not get hungry.
The dictator is just curiously watching in silence.
Okay, 2 successes.
2 successes. You do get pretty close. You kind of make your way very casually. You watch for a moment as he's just sitting on the park bench looking around, watching some of the games, and you see his eyes do land on you. And he does make direct eye contact with you as he does see you. And sees you casually looking at him, just by the off chance. Seems he's got a sharp eye. But when he sees you, just raises a hot dog and nods, seeing you make eye contact, just saying hi. Leans down, seems to check his phone, puts it back. How long do you watch him? He has seen you. He wasn't shy about it either.
Mm-hmm. When he looks at me and he raises a hot dog, I kind of give him a finger gun, like, not bad. And so I kind of tilt my head a few times on the table, and I look over to another table, and I make my way over to that one, a little bit farther away.
As you move and make that to a different table, you still watch him?
Yes. See if I can get anybody, maybe some other people that I can join in with.
Go ahead and make one more, I'll say, for this, I'll say it's charisma plus either streetwise or etiquette, if you're trying to blend your way into people without them basically shutting you off.
Let's see if I can blend in. Okay, much better. 4 successes.
4 successes. You give him finger guns as he just nods at you, still munching on his hot dog. As you can get up and make your way back towards the street, Crescent, you can actually see him begin to walk down the sidewalk. Grayson's head always looking at an individual, and you follow his gaze, and kind of leaning over past the water sculpture, you can see the detective just sitting out in the open. And with your natural suspicion, you go around, and he's just in the open. He's not even hiding. It's plainly be able to be seen. Grayson, you do watch as you see the man. He does follow you for a bit as you're really the only one moving, as he just saw you recently. And you do begin to walk around, and you watch for a bit. Keeps checking his phone, eating his hot dog, looking around, checking his phone, eating his hot dog, looks around. Does this continuous cycle.
Do I see him checking his phone often?
It's in the public. He's not hiding it. After he finishes the last bite of his hot dog, and his eyes look over, and he does look at you, Grayson, seeing you look at him again. Looks behind him. Looks back at you. You see him visibly roll his eyes as he just looks to you and gestures for you to come on over.
Screw it, jig's up. So, look over the table one last time, do a small nod, and I just kind of meander my way over towards him.
Grayson walks through the center of the open area as you get, how close do you get to the detective?
Is he still sitting?
Yeah, he's still sitting.
If he's sitting on one side of the bench, I'll sit on the other side of the bench.
You sit on the other side. It's a spacious bench. It's about maybe a person's width between both of you as you sit down. He just kind of rolls his eyes, adjusts his coat a little bit. Hey, you got a problem with me, man? Why are you checking me out?
Oh, shit. Sorry, man. I was just, I don't know, kind of envious in a way. You're just kind of chilling out here and look like you ain't got a care in the world.
Yeah. Then I must be a pretty fucking good actor. I got a lot of cares in the world. But honestly, why you eyeballing me, man? Do I know you? Do you have a problem with me? Like, what's going on?
What? No. Problem with you? No, I don't got a problem with you.
Yeah, well, why you eyeballing me then?
You said you're just coming off a little odd, I guess. I mean,
odd how? I'm just sitting on a bench eating a hot dog.
Yeah,
Which was a very good hot dog, by the way. Were you hungry? You want me to buy you food? Are you one of those like homeless guys that pretend to look nice?
No. I appreciate the offer, though. It's just like, I mean, honestly, that guy over on the corner is like,
gone.
As I point over and I'm seeing like, oh, well, there was a guy over there. A tin cup, the whole routine. I figured he could have. They gonna lean over and look like, I bet he could have used one.
Hey, if I'm gonna give a homeless guy something, I'm gonna buy him something. I ain't gonna just give him money.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I don't think of that. Just wanted to help out and didn't think about that part.
You seem to lean over, just kind of pats you on the side of your arm, a bit on the exposed hand, and as soon as his hand touches yours, he pulls back. What do you want?
Seeing what you're up to, man.
He looks around and looks right at you in the eyes. His flesh is warm to the touch. He's not kindred. The moment he makes eye contact with you, there's a certain anxiety you suddenly feel. Go ahead and make a wits plus occult.
Oh, I don't like that.
Ken, while he's doing that, is there a shadow nearby that I can see that would be kind of behind him to maybe see the phone?
Oh, easy enough. It is nighttime, and currently doesn't have his phone out, but you can definitely find a shadow nearby from a different angle if you need it.
Yeah, then I will do that.
All right, go ahead and...
Leave it to rouse check.
Yep, make your rouse check.
Success!
You do not get hungry. Your soul stays intact.
I have 2 successes over here.
2 successes. Well, as you have this momentary connection, Grayson Crescent, you are able to lean against your bike, turn away, and will your senses to a nearby shadow underhanging a side of a street lamp that's kind of nearby, with maybe about a foot or so away from these individuals, able to project your senses through it. Close enough to see where he had his phone last, so maybe he pulls it back up. You might be good to look at it, but definitely close enough to see and hear everything.
I'm listening, but I'm also waiting, 1, to see if Grayson makes that motion at all to me, and then 2, I'm waiting to see if the guy pulls his phone out.
Easy enough. Grayson, this unease you feel, this anxiety you suddenly feel, start to cause the hair on the back of your neck rise up. It's like when the feeling when you see a dog and you want to pet it, but then it suddenly growls at you, and you feel that hair on the back of your neck stand up, that fear. You know it's supernatural, though. He is a ghoul. It appears he's trying to make himself look more threatening to you.
Do I get my unswayable mind?
You do. It doesn't really affect you.
Oh, okay. That's what I was asking.
It is a very minor dominate, but
okay, fair enough.
Or presence in this case. It is very minor, but he does come across much more dangerous. You know it's supernatural. Your natural composure, wits, and resolve far exceeds his ability to intimidate you. You see through it. He's a ghoul.
Fair enough.
But he is puffing his chest out, so to speak, knowing what you are. He looks around, now more concerned about his surroundings as he's emanating this sense of fear and dread next to him. You see the actual normal people look and see you guys and purposely decide to give you all a wide berth in this clearing within the city. He tilts his head. So, I'm going to ask again, what the hell do you want?
Honestly, I have a few more questions now that I think I have a little bit more of an idea of what I'm dealing with here.
What do you think you're dealing with?
I think I'm dealing with somebody with a little bit of something else, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and?
Makes this conversation a little bit more interesting.
Well, it depends on which side of the conversation you're having it.
Rather keep things simple, civil, and peaceful.
He kind of looks you up and down very suspiciously. We'll see how long that lasts. Depends on which side of the tracks you're on, if you know what I mean.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Side of the tracks I'm on right now it's on the high road, but dealing with a lot of stuff at the moment.
You see him inch away from you almost immediately, putting just a little bit more room between the two of you. Crescent, you definitely can see he's nervous.
Like I said, I like to keep things civil and peaceful.
This first for your type.
I like my type now, am I?
Damn it. Here, I thought I did a pretty good job covering my tracks.
Well, you did. You really did.
What are you going to do? Obviously, you're not going to just fucking rip my head off. I know the secrets and all that shit is pretty important. And he gestures around. A lot of witnesses.
I agree. And I don't want to involve them. So, I'm talking to you now. So I'm guessing from the way that you reeled back from that one, you're on the other side of the tracks.
You can say that.
That's fair.
Don't necessarily appreciate having higher ups breathing down my neck all the time, if that makes sense.
Oh, trust me. They're breathing down mine too, no matter where you go.
Yeah, well, mine don't breathe down my neck. Mine treat me pretty well. equal exchange employment and all that, if that makes sense.
Understandable. It seems like you've gotten something good out of the deal.
Well, I'd probably potentially able to get a lot more out of it.
Provided you give them enough.
Well, yeah. See,
I wonder how much you can give them.
I have... Well, since you're already here, there's no use trying to play games. I have enough. I know I have enough.
Okay.
He leans over and he checks his phone again. Crescent, go ahead and make a wits and awareness. I know you're waiting for it.
4 successes.
4 successes. It's only a quick flash, but you do see he leans over and checks his phone. You see he doesn't unlock it, but you see immediately. You see the time, which is about 8:30. You see that he checks it, and it looks like he was pulling down his notification window and then scrolls it back up and clicks it off again real quick. Seems like he's waiting for something. Yeah, I got enough. I've got enough to take me over, and hopefully it'll be enough to bring me fully onto their side, if you know what I mean. Earn my stripes.
Gotcha.
Earn my stripes, you know.
Oh, no. I could see that. That could made that decision myself a while ago.
Well, we probably had it for different reasons, but I want to do good things for good people. And I know I'm too fragile to do it. After being so deep undercover that I couldn't fucking breathe, I saw what actually exists in the city. I saw what really goes on in the dark. And I barely survived long to get out of it. Some real fucked up things happen to a lot of good people for no good damn reason. And your side of the tracks tends to be at the root of a lot of it. I don't like it.
Well, I could show you one of the other side of the tracks that's leading right to where I am, and they are not doing good things, my friend.
Oh, really? Telling people what to do, taking control of them, running things under people's noses, the weird big conspiracy shit that you used to call people crazy for actually exists because of your kind, because of your side. People ain't free, and they don't even know it.
Nobody's free, let's be honest. Not here. Not in this world.
Fitz. You can be free if you choose to be.
Me.
Yeah,
in this... I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because that is fucking ridiculous. You think you're going to be free when they let you do what you... If they do.
Oh, yeah. Because I got something I can offer them. I got intel. I know where to look. I know where to find. I know you guys' steps. You're going to find that the way things are all structured on your side of the tracks, they're going to keep breathing down your neck until you're nothing but a big old mush pile. After our side brings the whole tower down. People be free again. You can't fix what you guys are. I get that. You can't stop something that's always been around. It's nature. I understand that. But I want to be a part of it. I want to be damn sure that people aren't taken advantage of within reason. Stop all this kidnapping and murdering and bodies in dumpsters. My side offers that. Bring some structure to this chaos your side causes. You mean you have to blow a building up here and there to make it happen?
You think they can bring structure?
I absolutely sure.
Really? Because they're not... My side's not the one destroying public property out in the open with buses and explosions. That's not structure. That's not order. That's kids. That's children running around with a stick, breaking a glass because mommy doesn't tell them anything.
At this point, since you are on stark disagreement, we are now entering a social conflict. It's going to be 3 in, 3 out. He looks at you as he tilts his head. You do realize that you have to sometimes blow up the wall before you can get inside, right? Yeah, it's messy at first. But you have to get into the big ones. You have to take down those big outer defenses that people so boldly protect. As he leans down and checks his phone again. Sometimes you gotta be dramatic to make change. And then stabilize afterwards.
It's true. You could just build a way. You could use something, the tools that you are given. There's no need for that type. Such archaic means. There's a better way. There is a structure in there. It is sitting in front of us. but it seems that that site doesn't want to see any of that. Not for any other reason other than they don't want to.
Go ahead and make a charisma plus persuasion.
Do I happen to see anything else on the phone?
He's still just checking for that notification. Checking his notification box and turning the phone off. It's been about 5 minutes.
I am definitely going to rouse the blood for this one.
Go for it.
I do not get hungry.
All right.
That is 3 successes.
3 successes.
Yes.
Are you capable of getting more?
I can use a willpower.
If you wish to do so.
I will, in fact, do that.
Take a point of power damage.
Make that 5 successes.
5 successes.
That was a critical.
You beat him with a margin of 1, but do take a point of superficial damage into your willpower.
I will mark that down.
You do get, there's no point in building a bridge if the people at the very top of that tower are corrupt. Those people don't care about normal people. They don't care about you at the lowest. You're just a building brick. You're just a stacking stone. At one point, they're going to turn on you too. And the moment you say no, your friends, this order, this bridge that you supposedly exists, is going to evaporate. And then you're just going to be useless and broken. And they're going to do away with you when you see fit. Our side doesn't do that. Our side honors everyone. Everyone has a chance. Everyone provides. Everyone earns. And I'm already earning my way in. Obviously, I'm out in the open here. You can't even touch me right now.
That's not what I've seen. See, what I've seen is a complete lack of anyone giving a shit about anybody else who isn't a part of them. So you think that if you weren't there, or if you were somehow on the outside, that they just magically help you. Now, yes, the people at the top are corrupt. What do you think I am trying to do, and what a few others are trying to do? See, up there, there's still more than one voice to convince, to change, to suggest, to put into order. There is a structure, and yes, it starts small, but the foundations become so concrete, they could, that suddenly there's no need for people to disappear anymore. There's no need for it. Sacrifices have to be made. I am not happy about it. Nobody is. The world is built off organizations, businesses, and structure. They don't have any of that. You want rewards? I bet I could give you more. Better.
To clarify, you're trying to project yourself as a potential up and rising leader. Am I understand that correctly?
That is correct.
Go ahead and make a charisma plus leadership.
Okay, charisma and leadership. Do I get my motivational speaking?
I'll say in this, yes, I'll allow it.
Okay.
You are trying to project the sense of self-righteous change, and he is a part of it.
Yes. Okay. So 6 successes. That was with another critical.
6 successes. Margin of 3. You succeed. You project this ferocity, this small sense of leadership, but he does seem to lean in, and he looks at you a little less suspiciously. He drops his shoulders a little bit, checks his phone again, looks back at you. You do see again, he's just checking the notification box, and there's nothing yet. Another 5 minutes or so. Crescent, as you're listening to this intense social conflict between the two of them in the middle of this recreational square, what are you thinking right now, Crescent?
Impressed, for sure, because even though Grayson has always been a man of seeing a better vision of things, to see it on such a larger scale as this, I agree with him. It's just kind of fascinating to see, and kind of just waiting with bated breath to see what this ghoul says.
He leans back. You see him conflicted as he checks his phone a couple more times, looks back to you.
So as I see him check his phone, I'm going to look up to him. Clock's ticking.
You can see it's a confliction on his face as he's kind of looking around a bit more nervously. Almost up to his uncomfortable now. The daunt fades away, his bravado melting. You're getting the upper hand here, but he's not quite there. Looks at you again. So what do you say? Clearly, that you're going to try and replace the top? That you're going to somehow be the means to change? Because I'm telling you what, your side is fucked. They leave more bodies than you could ever believe. I don't care if my side has burned down a building or two. The amount dead left behind because of that is a fraction compared to the amount of people that go missing every single day. You know how many children I've had to pull out of a dumpster that have died in mysterious circumstances? You know how many people I've had to put away, drugged out of their mind, only to be unable to recall the previous night's events, and people just write them off as just high and drugged, and they go away for life? You know how many families I've seen torn apart by gruesome killings, where I walk into a home and the walls are painted red when it was supposed to be white? You think you, this little nobody, is going to be able to make some kind of change? How? What can you do that's so different than what I've already gotten?
They say they are for the people, for our kind. I believe they are in one sense, but I don't see them as a family. Not like what I have, not like what I am building, what the Camarilla is trying to build for this world. And from what I've done to help aid so that there is not any more walls painted red, is I will claw my way to the top. I will do it. You'll learn in this world anything is possible. The only difference is, my friend, as I straighten up and I point at him, do you want to be part of the family that reaches the top? That isn't just going to drop you on the side of the road, drained, husks left, no random sense of building. There's no problem the building burns down. What about the people that relied on that? What about the families, mothers and fathers trying to provide for their children? Gone, burned because it was necessary. Fuck that. It's not necessary. It's not constructive. Ivory Tower is made of glass. By the time I'm done with it, it'll be made of stone and metal.
Go ahead and make a manipulation plus persuasion.
I'm going in, so I will rouse again.
Make another rouse.
I do not get hungry. Okay.
The dictator is intrigued. He watches intensely as you attempt to converse this individual onto your side.
You know what? I will willpower for a reroll.
You got a point of superficial willpower damage. That's 2 so
I'm
far.
going. Gotta do what you gotta do. All right. Much better. 4 successes. That's with a critical.
4 successes. As you project this offer, you see the detective put a thumb to his lip, biting his nail, thinking, it's going to be quickly agitated. Checks his phone again, nothing. Again, Crescent, that notification box, nothing. As he looks to you, maybe you're right. You can keep me safe too. You bring me in, you turn me. You bring me to your side.
I could do something for you, actually. Yes. You can call in a favor or two. Get it approved from the higher tower.
I can't help you if I'm not safe. That's my deal. I need to be safe, and I know for a fucking fact I'm not safe like this. If I decided to cross the track, I gotta be like you. I gotta be like the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
You want my help, that's the price.
It's fair. All I need to do is talk to a certain person and it'll be done. I'll tell you the same thing that someone told me. There is no going back once you've become...
I can't go back as it is. The things that I've seen, the things that I know. I'm a dead man if I don't do this. I will live. Period. I worked too hard to try to make this fucking city a better place. To nearly die the way I did. And to just barely make it out with what I saw. If I don't side with somebody, I will die. So you have to give me your word that I'm betting on the winning horse here. Because it's my life we're talking about here.
You have my word.
He leans in closer. I have a name. I have my contact who I was working with.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be a fair trade to start?
Fair trade to start.
Duncan McTavish. Crescent, at that point, you see the phone that's been left on the park bench light up as a message pops up onto the device. And you see from an unsaved number a message that samples, "Bad move, kid. As Grayson, you are thrown off your feet." Something hits you in the chest that sends you plummeting off that bench a good 5 feet away, and then you hear the bang. The sound
Rapid
of a high...
reflexes going in.
Can I rapid reflex?
Rapid reflex going in!
She can rapid reflex a charge to you, but what happens to you is too fast, and you are not aware of this. Unfortunately, as you take 9 points of superficial damage, halved to 4.
Ouch!
As you immediately hit the ground, this moment the name enters your ears. Crescent, you recognize the sound of that bang. It is the distant sound of a high-powered rifle. People, it is chaos. You rapid reflex and begin to dive in, and the crowd scatters. People are screaming. People are running and hiding as the sound of a very loud rifle shot just pierced through the night air. Grayson, you look down at the center of your chest and you lay on your back, pain ricocheting through your body, as there is now an open hole in your chest, barely missing your heart. As you are laying there in complete shock and agony, as your entire body is filled with this kinetic energy, the detective, you see him. He stands up immediately as another shot ricochets. As he ducks out of the way, it barely ricochets past you. You roll over slightly as Detective Walter goes, "Run!" as he fucking books it. Shots go by, Crescent. As you shove past, you see the detective taking off as the crowd is just mingling left, right, and past you, people taking cover. In this moment, Grayson, you have an open hole in your chest. You are in the middle of an open clearing surrounded by buildings on all sides. Crescent, you rush to his aid out in the open.
Yeah.
You get there, it's bad. There's a hole covering his chest as people are now taking cover nearby, shivering. Another bullet ricochets off the park bench, splintering some of the wood, narrowly missing you.
All right, get up, let's go now.
I'm gonna pull over my jacket and just go to the bike now. I'm gonna make a dash for it.
You both are in danger of breaking the masquerade.
Huh.
Grayson, you just took a high-powered shot to the chest in full witness of a bunch of people. You are on the ground. Safe to say, you are in a dangerous situation. You are being assaulted by somebody. You cannot see where at the moment. And now let's deal with the fact that Grayson in the public eye is heavily, mortally injured. And while this is going on, move over to Acer.
Acer's just on the freeway, driving, listening to music.
It takes you about an hour to make your way through the highways. But it's not long that you make it into the Northgate area. Everything is quiet, serene. People walk their dogs. You quickly find yourself in a very upscaled area of higher wealth. No ragtag people here. No homeless for miles. It's actually a really nice area. You think your sister or your parents would have loved to live out here, actually, if they had the money. Something you may keep a note of when you decide to maybe walk away from this world of darkness. The address isn't hard to find. It's a modest home. 2 stories, very modern-esque style, kind of boxy in nature with very large windows. The lights are on.
I'm just going to find a nearby spot to park. Make sure I don't get towed.
It is fairly easy. There's a spot right in that open driveway for you just to slide on it.
Ah, fantastic. Turn off the car, get out, and I'm going to slip the switchblade into the arm coat, and I'm going to keep the plastic plasma grenade, and I'm just going to kind of like hook it to the side, but then like have my coat kind of cover it.
All right.
I'm going to walk right up to the door, and I'm going to give it a knock.
You walk up to the front of the doorbell and give it a hard few knocks. It's quiet. You hear the sound of a small dog bark as you hear footsteps. A door opens in front of you as you see a small Pomeranian barking at the threshold as a very well-dressed man in an evening wear and a very thick robe opens the door. He has a hard fade cut on both sides with his hair curled and coiffed in the front. And that same smile in the video plastered on his face as he looks at you and smiles. The same man from the video. Well, took you long enough.
Had to go through a lot of choices.
Yeah, well, you definitely took your time. He turns his back on you, waves, and come on in. Let's close the door behind you.
I'm going to take a look around. Does it look like it might be a trap?
Go ahead and make a wits plus awareness.
3.
3 successes. Looking around, doesn't look that bad. It's nerve-wracking. It's not what you expect in the slightest. The dangerous thing you see before you is the small dog that's keeping its distance from you, barking every now and then.
I'm going to walk in and shut the door.
You shut the door. It's a nice space for you. Fairly lavishly furnished, upscaled. A lot of the furniture seems new, not really antique-y. Very well lit. There's a very cold, white, glistening marble underneath your feet as you come across the floor. The man looks back and goes, take your shoes off, man. Don't be leaving dirt in my house. He walks back into the kitchen. But as you kind of realize, it's more than just a kitchen. It's a very open room concept, kitchen, living room-esque situation. A gas-lit furnace kind of lights the center of the room, almost like a faux fireplace that people can gather around. He sits on one of the very large cushions as he leans over and flicks on the TV, playing some very soft jazz music. Gestures over the sofa in front of him. Sit! Come on, don't be shy. You obviously found me.
He's just going to give a little sigh and check his phone just really quick. Does he have any signal?
No.
That's what I thought. He's going to put his phone away and he's going to walk up and go, your house a Faraday cage?
I mean, I don't want people leaving with conversations they shouldn't be having, you know.
Smart. Though, I am quite confused. You paid with cash. That covers your tracks very well, but you kept the address. What looks to be your home.
Oh, don't think this is my only home.
Interesting. I would have just used an abandoned site when I sit down to the couch.
Very comfortable couch. Actually, it makes you a little envious. It's more comfier than the couches you have at the treatment center.
Oh, bitch.
Smiles and shrugs. I was leaving you a trail, if you weren't smart enough to figure that out. Anyone less their salt wouldn't have thought to try and figure out where I bought the damn thing from, let alone they would have given up the moment they saw it paid in cash. Take a sharp eye to really know what you're looking for.
Which begs the question, what are you looking for?
He takes a long look at you up and down as he crosses his leg over, just kind of tapping his bare foot in the open air. Really looking at you now. You're a lot less than I expected. No offense, Mr. Voice of the Thin Bloods.
None taken. I like to keep that. Makes people underestimate me. Makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, well, that's leaving a very conflicting image for you. You hungry, by the way?
Famished, but I'll wait to get something on the way back.
Nah. I'll be a gracious host. You like, oh, neg, be positive, A minus. What are you looking at? What's your favorite?
Surprise me.
He gets up. You see him simply walk into his kitchen, open a door, and as soon as he opens it, you see it is just stocked with blood bags. He just reaches in, pulls out one, rips off the front tab, pours it into a very fancy wine glass. You like it warm or is cold okay?
Typically I go cold.
Cold it is. He drops a few ice cubes in it for good measure as a joke. Picks the glass by the stem and brings one back over to you. Sets the rest of the blood back down in front of you. I got you Oneg. Most people like Oneg.
I'm going to look at it. Does it look like it's been tampered with in any way?
You watched him pull it out of the front of the freezer. Didn't look tampered with. You see the front of the bag. It does clearly say whole blood. It's not the processed stuff. It is straight from the tap.
And there's no puncture marks in the bag?
Make a wits and awareness.
3.
3? Nope. It looks clean. Oh, one way to find out for sure, though.
And he just drinks.
You begin drinking your glass, one sip. It's good. It's whole blood. There's no chemicals. You're used to bag blood. It doesn't really faze you, thanks to your advantage. It's nice. It's whole, clean blood. No preservatives. Beyond just a little bit of anticoagulant to keep it fresh. You take one sip. It's good. You drum the whole glass. Pour off the rest of your bag. Drink the rest and slate one hunger. By the time you finish the end of your glass and lick out the rest of it.
So, to what do I owe this honor?
Well, in all fairness, I want to get to know you. I want to see how smart you really fucking are. See, I like business. And I know when I see a business opportunity. It's not every day that someone just gives a position of any status to a thin blood. Now, you were very interesting when I overheard what happened at the Elysium with this whole Lasama debacle. The whole city's shaken up about it. People rushing to try and talk to Lasama as best they can. I hear when we already have a sheriff. She's nice, in quotes, I guess. A little old-fashioned for my taste.
She has a very medieval way about her.
She does. That's how I found out about you, though. Her and that Shamir chick. I think her name was Sun. She came over to one of my places. Sucked for them. I had like several of them, so probably was at it all night. But they gave out the Prince of Speeches and the blood tax and yada yada yada. But what threw me off is when they mentioned you. They mentioned that you were not going to be the voice of the Thin Bloods, solely responsible for everything they do and solely responsible for their future at the same time.
Trust me,
and I
not
thought,
a title I cared for.
Well, I had to admit, I thought that was the biggest crock of shit I ever heard in my life. But then it got me curious. So I looked into you. Pretty hard to find, actually. Like I said, if you watch my recording, I was pretty impressed. Found your system. Took me a hot minute. Gotta admit. And then when I kind of got in, got some decent amount of info. Your system fucking fried my system remotely. Had to toss the whole fucking thing out. Shut me down before I get anything juicy.
Well, I was told by my colleagues that my defense was always lacking, but I was pretty good at attacking.
Well, it was a good counterattack. You just barely hit the kill switch before you got into my mainframe. Then I'd have to fry everything. That would have sucked. From one techie to another. So, you impressed me. Didn't stop me fast enough, though. I know where you live. Really easy to see where you live up to when you work with someone so high profile as Mr. Holland. He may be low on the totem pole, but he makes a big name for himself in the mortal world. I keep my eye on him. He's very interesting.
Yeah, helps to stand in the shadow of a really big person.
Yeah, but your problem now is you ain't so much in the shadow anymore, aren't you?
A very regrettable issue.
So, here's the thing. I know what happens with a good business deal. If it's big enough, other people are going to start sniffing around when there's blood in the water. And you, my friend, are a big fish in a city of sharks. So, simple as this. I want to get to you first. So I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, my friend. This one's for free. You're not going to have a choice. You cannot deny this. You cannot tell the prince no. Because he will rip your head off. And then he will kill every single person you ever know and give a shit about. At the same time, though, you're equally hosed because if you say yes, and you actually commit to this, you lose everything you want. You get out in the open, where, I'm going to be very honest here, for mixed reception. Just because the prince said something doesn't necessarily mean that all the elders in Seattle think this is okay. In fact, some of them even find this as a direct fucking insult. How dare a thin blood have status amongst the rest of us? Treated as an equal? Even a marginally so. So, the way I see it is, on one hand of the park, you're dead if you say no. On the other hand of the park, you're dead if you say yes. That's not to go into the back and that. Those thin bloods didn't pick you. I'm sure all these thoughts were growing, threaking through your monkey brain real fast. So what I'm here to tell you is, you're going to have elders coming at you. Whether passive-aggressively or directly in your face. You will have others that will try to be your friend. To try and get something out of you. At the same time, those thin bloods that you've now volunteered yourself to take care of are also going to be at your back, and that could be a whole different reaction. I hear Flyboy doesn't take too keen on people controlling his turf either, and you're in charge of that now. You just landed yourself in a whole shit pot worth of power and trouble. So I figured it might be smart to jump on this opportunity and say, I like the thin bloods. I think they're an untapped potential. I think they're an untapped resource by myself. And I'm here to offer you an allyship.
Oh, fuck. You're the first person I've ever talked to that didn't outright want to kill me. Hell, even the people I call my friends right now wanted to kill me at day one.
He waves his hand. I'm not big on violence. Ventrue aren't big on that. I like business. It's clean, it's cut, I know what I'm doing. And safe to say, you can't pose any threat to me here anyway. Your phone should be locked down by now, the moment you entered my house. From can't you get into it until you leave? I doubt the fact that you could take me on in a front-on-front fight. And even if you tried, this whole place has got recordings. You try to pull any type of weird hocus-pocus on me that I know Thin Bloods can do, I'm going to broadcast that shit to every fucking corner of this city.
You fuck, you're stealing a lot of my ideas. I love it.
You don't get along in this city as long as I have without knowing a few tricks. Now, the way I see it, you have an image problem. I can help you with that. I can get you information. If there is a security system in this city, I've already cracked it. I've already been in it. In fact, yours was the first system that actually gave me a challenge in a long time, and you know what? I fucking respect that. Not too often that happens. So I'm here to make a deal with you. There is no venture primogen. Hasn't been one in a long time. I want it. However, I can't guarantee my safety when I try to jump for power like that. Venture aren't always taken too kindly in this city because of the way we are, especially in the sense that the current position of Prince has been occupied, which I personally have no interest in. But I certainly don't find an interest in being subservient to the Baroness of Northgate, even with all her grandiose ideas and her very impressive repertoire. So I'll say this. You're going to help me get to what I want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to help you. You need to get underhand with all these thin bloods in this city. There's more than you think. And you need to get them on your side real fuckity quick. Because if you don't, you're going to find some bigger fish to come down and not only rally them up against you, but then take the most powerful one and try and take you out in their place. Just because we work under order and structure and no one can fuck each other over openly in Elysium, but we all know it's horseshit. Does not necessarily mean that on the way home a bigger fish ain't going to eat your fucking face and then wear your skin like a suit to take your place. And I'm here going to help with that.
So, your entire solution to this is not to try and get out of it, but to embrace it.
Oh, hell yeah. Because here's the thing. Thin Bloods aren't respected in this city. The fact is, you are in a unique position to make them matter. And frankly, I've seen the ingenuity. You guys are capable of doing some of that crazy alchemy shit that I can't even touch. I've tried it. It nearly fucking killed me. It doesn't work with me. But it works for you guys. In more ways than one. And it often gets you guys in a lot of trouble. A lot of kindred around here don't necessarily like that. They don't necessarily like the fact that you can copy what we can do and do weird things with it and have it on the fly. Makes you unpredictable. But it offsets the fact that you're all extremely fragile. So, that's what the Scourge does. That's what the Sheriff does. The moment that a Thin Blood steps out of line, their job is to wipe you fuckers off the face of the earth, send you back to where you came from.
So, because of the fact that we can be slightly unpredictable to those with less intelligence to even come up with a plan, they view us as a threat.
Well, there's that. And this little thing called Gehenna.
Gehenna.
Look, I ain't superstitious. I've only been around for 30, 40 years at this point. I'm not big on the end of the world doomsday talk. I believe what I can see, and what I can see is what's in your personal social security account right now. Which, man, really, Bitcoin?
It was a joke. I didn't think it'd take off.
You could have named it something better like BLT token or something.
It was literally supposed to be a joke, a play off of Dogecoin.
The point is,
I mean,
at least I can see that. I know it exists, despite me wishing I knew it didn't. This whole end of the world apocalypse thing, it's doomspeak to me. But a lot of the older ones, the ones that are in charge, they view the Thin Bloods as a coming of the end. That one day, the wilds would come to claim us, Vitae would be as rare as diamonds, all by the appearance of the time of Thin Blood. That's just me paraphrasing.
So this Gehenna is some sort of weird prophecy that we're bringing about the end of their world.
All of it. All kindred. And supposedly, you fucknuts are the ones that inherit it all. That all the elders, all the pure kindred, all the ones of full blood will be wiped out or become so rare they're almost impossible to find. As rare as diamonds, as the prophecy speaks. And the Thin Bloods are the ones that are going to inherit it all because they're going to bring about that destruction one way or another. The general interpretation is because you all exist, it is a sign of the end times, and if we can cull the herd, so to speak, keep you guys under control, we might postpone or eliminate that threat.
Interesting.
Thin Bloods are unpredictable. They may not be as durable, as fast, as strong, or as supernaturally gifted, but you blend in with society. You're able to do extraordinary things, and even with enough time, possibly duplicate our most powerful secrets, and then distribute that knowledge to each other. You have a freedom that the elders don't like, which makes you equally dangerous as you are useful.
Makes you wonder if that exact hatred is actually more of a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Well, I don't make my living making philosophical BS. Again, I see what I know. And what I see in front of me is an individual that was thrust into something he has no fucking idea how to handle, and I'm here to offer you a lifeline as long as you're willing to help me.
Which brings me to my next question. How is this Thin Blood, who got thrust into something he cannot handle, supposed to help someone like you?
Simple. You rally the Thin Bloods behind you. See, right now, the Thin Bloods only look for each other, terrified to make a move. We have Thin Bloods that serve Cam and Anarch alike, with the promise that they're going to be made whole. After all, to a Camarilla individual, if a Thin Blood is loyal enough, over such so many years, who's to say we don't take one of our own that we have damned, tortured underneath the city in the catacombs? Someone that's been imprisoned for heinous crimes against their whatever doctrine they've decided. And decided to reward that Thin Blood by letting them diablerize one of our own to become full. It's a heavy temptation. Avoid the scrutiny, serve loyally, and you'll be in charge. And that goes on both sides of the fence. Not just Camarilla, but Anarchs too. They won't admit it, but it's true. So Thin Bloods will serve each other loyally, to just on the slim hope that they may get out of their predicament, because it's no better for you as it is for anybody else. In fact, I think you have it great. Your coterie actually respects you. I saw the way that La Sombra girl jumped in front of you. And then you have the other Thin Bloods that don't serve, that work against the system, exist out of the system. You would call them the caitiff, the unclan, the unbound. Typically, caitiff is used for kindred that don't necessarily fit with any clan. They're kind of a unclaimed hodgepodge. They find their own way, so they don't know what they truly are. Now that you have a voice, so to speak, you make a difference. Yes, those bad things are going to fall on your shoulders, which means you're going to be in hot water pretty much all the fucking time. There's a lot of problems in the city because of Thin Bloods. But what happens when you pull that shit around and get them on your side? They rally behind you. Now all of a sudden you have power. You have Thin Bloods that respect you as a leader. It's pretty powerful negotiating chip. Get them in tow, and how good does it look to the prince when you have the whole Thin Blood of Seattle underneath the Camarilla banner?
And you're going to help me achieve all of this for the low price of just Primogen.
Yes. Because here's the thing. There hasn't been a venture of Primogen in a long time, since the last prince was unfortunately dethroned. Venture's got a bad rap for a while in this city because of it. And I really sure as shit, and neither do you, want my Baron to become Primogen. In fact, I'm going to be completely honest, it's the reason why no sound gets out of this building, because I'm not entirely sure she's not watching me right now. At least she can't fucking hear me.
Well, not with the way you have this place set up anyways. You'd have to be inside the room to do that.
Exactly. Safe to say, I never stay in one place for more than one night. So, you make me Primogen. You get me to that spot. You help me sway the tides. Because guess what? You get enough power under your belt, you'll have actual sway. And then all of a sudden, when my Baron makes a move for Primogen, you will have enough influence to sabotage that. What happens when you have an army of Thin Bloods that goes after her turf, undermines her territory, undermines her and makes her look bad in front of the prince. Then all of a sudden, I swoop in and solve all the problems.
Cause the sickness, sell the cure.
Damn straight.
It seems like in my position, this is literally the best deal that I can get, considering people are going to be hunting me whether I refuse or whether I accept.
Well, here's the thing about that. The three of you have already got a big-ass target on your back. You just got a bigger one.
Tell you what. You've tested me. Now, if I may, allow me to do the same.
He raises an eyebrow as you see him slowly slip from a whiskey glass full of blood.
I have 2 people that I need found.
Okay.
Rather urgently, and with your eyes all over this place, I'm pretty sure this is going to be nothing more than a menial task. So what do you say? Allow me to test you? Test the waters of this relationship.
He leans back, crosses a leg over his knee, and swirls the glass. Takes a sip. Looks down. You can see an LCD screen on his arm light up as he presses a small button and looks. You see a smile on his face. Well, finding 2 people for you shouldn't be a problem. Consider us friends.
Okay, then. And I'm going to pull out my phone, kind of click it twice, and just be like, do you mind? Kind of locked out.
He stands up, offers a hand to you. But it's pretty traditional that we shake on a business deal.
I'll take his hand. I'll shake it.
He gives you a very firm shake. Very businessman. Not too hard, but firm. The balance of power in a deal struck. By the way, Bobby Hurricane at your service. But you may want to reconsider whatever your phone call you're about to make, because he leans over and clicks remote on the TV as you see news flash on the front of the screen. Big red headlines on CNN. Active shooter in core Seattle Square. As you can see footage. A slightly distorted image of 2 individuals laying in the ground. But as the aerial view pans over, you can see just barely a flock of messy hair, that well-dressed silhouette of an individual that was just shot off a park bench. As it appears Grayson Holland just got hit by something, and Bobby just tilts his head. You got bigger problems, my friend. I'll get to work. As he just simply gets up and walks past you. You can see yourself out. The door will automatically lock. Don't let my dog out. As he takes another step of his shot glass and disappears upstairs, leaving you alone to see the breaking news broadcast as hellfire rains down from above. And for now, that's where we're going to leave our vampire story tonight, folks. Some interesting things happened here tonight. New problems and new dilemmas have now risen afoot, and deals have been made. Things are moving for our coterie within Seattle, but many more problems ahead. Will Grayson be able to preserve the Masquerade with a public open wound in his chest for the world to see? How is Crescent going to be able to react to this? Will she be able to help him? Will he even be able to help himself? And what's Acer going to do with this new, strange Bobby Hurricane? Ally? Friend? Or another individual to watch his back from? These are all things we're going to have to find out next time. Keep an eye out on where you walk out in the middle of the night. You never know what might be prowling around the corner, what dangers may lurk. So close your windows. Make sure your doors are locked. Keep your phones off when you're not using them, just in case someone's looking in on you. And we'll see you all next time. Good night, everyone.